There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a Realtor comes in to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
My name is Susie Scott, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer for Providence Swedish South Puget Sound. Providence takes care of its caregivers. We have tuition reimbursement, counseling support, backup childcare, a wealth of opportunities well beyond salary and benefits. Providence Swedish is a place where you will find coworkers who will take care of you. So together as a team, you can provide the best care to our patients.
Join us as an RN. To apply, visit nursing.providenceswedish.jobs.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from The Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4156. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, it is the random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories: the smartest cities in the U.S. and the Summer Olympics. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV Time with Tate.
Clack, clack.
All right, here we go. Los Angeles robber leaves an apology note for the homeowners telling them drugs are not cheap. Meanwhile, Portland seizes dozens of vehicles that kept people up as they were trying to sleep. New Zealand woman is fined after making her dog too fat to move. At one Harry Potter-themed wedding, an owl that was the one to disapprove. And a 4-H'er gives away 6,000 backpacks stuffed with needed school supplies. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, former WWE wrestler and current actor Dave Bautista. He's a very large and very intense man. So the idea of teasing him or making fun of him to his face, that ranks near the bottom of my list of healthy life choices. Then again, I'm not a roided out WWE wrestler, so things would not end well for me. However, back in the 1980s, Batista got his first tattoo, a heart on his ass. And according to him, he was mocked mercilessly by the other wrestlers. So much so that he got it covered up with a different tattoo. You see, it just doesn't matter who you are. People will always find something about you to make fun of. And sometimes, instead of making fun of you, people will start a rumor about you. So last month, singer and ponytail wearer Ariana Grande, she had to deny rumors that she was a cannibal. Yes, a cannibal, because when you look at Ariana Grande, you go, that chick eats people. Well, it all started when she admitted that Jeffrey Dahmer, the man who killed 17 people, even eating some of them, Ariana said that he would be, quote, a dream dinner guest. And I guess we all have our type. But after that, the cannibal rumors started. That her brother cleared it all up by explaining that she can't be a cannibal, she's vegan. But you know who's not vegan? Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, last month, he confessed that he'd eaten barbecue dog while visiting in Korea back in 2010. Right. And now, more recently, he admitted to dumping a dead bear cub in New York Central Park. Why? Because he's strange. There's no other real explanation, but he has his reasoning behind it. We'll get to that. But these are just some of the stories we've seen, stories that left us with many questions. Questions we'd like to ask you in the form of our random question, and this is how it works. You call us, we'll ask you a question at complete random. And after you share your story, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
To be a part of the big show, the random question, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association. It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Better health isn't always about the big things. Sometimes it's a nudge from a friend, or a head nod from a fellow jogger, or even a smile from across the breakfast table when you've decided to pass on the bacon. It's the little things that lead to better health, and Regence is here as a partner, opening doors to the care you need, no matter the size, because it all adds up to something big, a healthier you. Regence Blue Shield. Together we health.
9 KISW.
Home Patrol's away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4156. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. The exciting return to your guess is as good as mine. What are the categories today? Okay. Hot off the presses, we have the smartest cities in the United States.
All right.
16 key indicators across three main categories: connectivity, infrastructure, sustainability, and the tech job market. Those metrics used to determine the overall scores for each city.
I can't say it makes it easy, but I feel like you get at least 4 out of 10, probably.
Yeah. This one is kind of exactly what you think it might be based on the tech world, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, so once you said tech, I'm like, okay, connectivity and all that kind of
and the jobs that are available through that. Okay, so the smartest U.S. cities. And then the category we also brought you last week that was not picked, we have the top 10 Olympic sports to watch in the summer. Because let's face it, after this week...
These are the most popular ones to watch, or the ones that people get stuck watching?
These are the ones that people enjoy watching on television the most.
Okay. Right.
So before, I gave you the guys the example of the Winter Olympics. What is one of the most viewed sports? Curling.
Right.
It's not necessarily the most popular as far as I would think is popular, but as far as people wanting to watch it on television.
What's your one time?
It's the, like, I like
When else are you going to watch? I mean, honest to God, when else are you going to watch curling on television other than once every 4 years during the Olympics?
You'd have to really hunt for it to find like a world championship.
What's your cricket channel?
Willow.
Right. So you'd have to do something like that.
The one that Xfinity didn't even know they had. When you called up to say, hey.
Yeah. It's just a mistake.
I like the long jump, Winter Olympic-wise. But there's a ton of sports that I'm enjoying watching now that I thought, I didn't really have interest in before.
Look, I still can't do equestrian, man. And look, before these Olympics, I never cared about gymnastics. So the older I get, and I guess maybe the more my body hurts, and I'm seeing what these men and women are doing out there, it's fascinating. And I'm like, wow, man.
Mine is table tennis.
Table tennis, saw some of that.
So
badminton and all the volleyballs, man.
I would say also just track and field in general. I've watched some stuff from like the Penn relays and everything, but like last night, watching the 100, I was like, Jesus, this is awesome.
Have you tried the equestrian again?
No.
They even showed they weren't showing equestrian. They did like a 30-second pitch to what had happened earlier during equestrian. And I'm sitting on the sofa, and I see the horse jump over a fence. I got up and got a beer. Yeah. I'm like, I don't even care enough to watch the highlight of it.
Right. Rowing. Honest to God, man, I've been watching a ton of rowing. Ever since I saw that documentary on the UW rowing team, sometimes I'll get up really early to go to play golf. And, I mean, ridiculous. Like, it's 6:15. And I'll look down on the canal in Fremont, and those guys are out there practicing, and the girls are out there practicing.
And now you watch.
I'm like, this sport sucks from that perspective. If you want to get clean, clear water
so early.
If you don't want any traffic out there on the waterway, you got to get up and get out there like by 5. I don't know what time they get out there, man. But I'm just
my buddy lived on a houseboat in Lake Union for a year.
Yeah,
and we had let's just say we had not gone to bed yet, so we got on his paddleboard.
Okay.
And we were like, let's go drink a beer and watch the sunrise from the lake. And man, those teams came through. They were not happy with us.
Oh, really? Were you in the way?
Get the F out of the lane. So you guys are going to get hurt. And we're just like standing there like, what?
Were you drinking beer on the paddleboard?
Yes. Oh, man, it's a good look.
Yeah.
They were jealous. That's why they're mad.
Well, when they zoomed by the second time, and that guy had a lot of 4-letter words in his mouth at us.
Oh, really?
We were like, we should go in.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I know they get up early, but quite the history
angry
with the UW rowing team. So, I've kind of been rooting those guys on.
Would you have watched as much rowing if you didn't watch that documentary?
Boys in the Boat?
No, but, man, I taught rowing when I was growing up in Boy Scouts. So I do have an interest in rowing, but that's completely different than what those guys are doing.
I've done a rowing machine.
Yeah, I've done a rowing machine.
Great overall body workout, by the way. But, yes.
That's why I stopped doing it.
Those guys are...
Everything hurt.
Mm-hmm. So your guess is as good as mine. The categories, the Summer Olympics, and the smartest cities here in the U.S. What else do we have for you today? Some updates on the Men's Room IPA. We will give you the locations at T-Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
If you're heading down to watch the Mariners tonight, I believe they swept the Phillies over the weekend. If I'm not
did they sweep or did they drop one?
They lost yesterday. So they won the series. Okay. And then I think they might have an off night tonight, Miles.
All right, before they start getting back into it this week. I know they stay at home. So update locations if you're heading down to the ballpark this week. Also, your chance to win your share of $100,000 with the Odyssey app. This easy. Download the Odyssey app if you don't have it. If you do, sign in, because it'll ask you to create an account. And that way they know you're there. Listen for 1 hour for your chance to win your share of $100,000 as we continue with giving away all that money. And today is the day that we do our random question. 206-803-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, David. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
David, welcome to the program. Random question. How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great, man. Okay, let's start with this one. What would you say is the one thing in life where you've actually won something? Maybe you got an award, maybe it wasn't cash, or maybe you just, I don't know, hit big on a slot machine. What have you won in your lifetime?
And are there two different versions? In other words, one that you won, like Miles says, which is an award where you put an actual effort and you outdid everyone, and then like hit the slot machine where it's just luck.
Well, I kind of won a lottery to get my housing, actually. I won a lottery to get into my housing.
You won a lottery to get into your house? What kind of housing are you in that you had to play a lottery to get in?
I was public housing, because I'm broke.
Okay, so they actually have a lottery for public housing?
Yes, sir.
So just saying you are proving that you're dead broke does not give them the indication that, hey, you might need this.
No, I have to be broke to get the housing. It's kind of weird how they do it.
Okay, all right. Is it a nice place? I mean, did you get hooked up well?
Yeah, it's a studio, 1-bedroom apartment. They charged me $1,465 but they don't charge me. My government subsidy is worth $1,465.
Okay. Where are you located? Are you in Seattle City?
No, I'm in Everett.
All right. Okay. $1,400 a month, man.
That's a lot of money
steep.
anywhere you are. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 1-bedroom apartment.
I pay you. No, it's actually a studio.
All right. So you don't even have a separate bedroom. You're just going to have a living area, kind of like a hotel room.
Exactly.
Okay. So public housing for assistant, $1,400 a month. Because if you don't have money, that seems like a deal, huh? Or is it the idea that you played the lottery to get a decent place?
Well, it's a decent place.
Okay.
Connected with Compass Health, so there's right next door is Compass Health, so there's a lot of wing nuts going on.
All right, well, let me ask you this.
There's wing nuts everywhere, man. That's inescapable.
Are there any qualifications? In other words, do you have to take a drug test or anything that, would
No, they put my name in the lottery, and finally they pulled my name.
So that was it.
I only have to pay a third of that $1,465.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, hey, if you're going to win something, that's a pretty cool thing to win.
Would you have still had your name pulled if you had to be something like drug tested?
No, I would not pass.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know the stipulations on it, because depending on the families live there or whatever, whatever the mechanics are of the building, they might want to keep that for families or people with children or people with their seniors. Or
but
whatever.
drug testing, man, that throws a monkey wrench in it, depending who you are. So say, for example, you're me. When they bring up drug testing, a lot of times it's just like, never mind. I have to walk away from it. Mm-hmm. Years ago, my boss, we're still in Baltimore, and my boss calls me into his office, just on a show, and he says, listen to me. I'm not saying that you should have to worry about this, but I want you to know that CBS Radio is going to start drug testing in 2 weeks. And I absolutely lost my ass. I'm just screaming my head off, go on about this. And he said, look, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying you might want to know. So I went around. And I'm telling the people who I thought might also be... There's
like all the sales staff.
Yeah, basically the entire sales staff. Like, hey, you guys do a ton of blow, right? Mine's mostly weed, a little bit of blow. You guys are doing the pills and the cocaine, and I get it, and that's fine. But, hey, man, in 2 weeks, they're going to start drug testing. And looking at their faces, everyone tried to play cool, like they don't do anything, or, I'd never do that. But you could look at their face, and you could tell, like, this is going to affect you. So this went on for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks later, my boss calls me back into his office and says, yeah, that was a lie. That was a joke. Yeah. I just wanted to see you panic. I'm like, man, don't do that, because we both know I'm on a lot of drugs.
And if you've ever been drug tested before, it's kind of like the cops pulling you over, even if you didn't do anything wrong.
You're paranoid.
You're just like, oh no, what do I have on? What have
right. What have I done?
Yeah. Even if you've done nothing, you still have this feeling of like, oh no, I am busted. What are you busted for? I don't know. I haven't done any drugs since the time, but I don't know. Right. I just kind of feel like,
actually, with me, I'd be like, look, man, I can tell you exactly what you find in my system. If you find anything else, then it's a false alert. I'll give you an idea of our sales staff back there. I had the opportunity to fly to Costa Rica for a radio-related event, right? But the way they approached me, I won't say their names. We both know these people, but they said, hey, there's this thing going on in Costa Rica, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they're getting at, but they go, do you like to party? I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, then we think you might like this. Turns out they were correct. I had to go there on official work business, but also got to, quote unquote, party.
Sure.
But that was their approach. That was their sales pitch to me.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it worked. I was like, hell yeah.
Send the right people. The reason we asked, what did you win or what award have you won? They say the universe always balances out. And for one South Carolina woman, that certainly seems to be the case. The UPI reports on a reversal of fortune for the unnamed woman from the Low County region of the Palmetto State, who recently visited a store called the Old Pantry in Beaufort and forked over $10, just $10, for a Gold Rush scratch-off ticket. After doing the physical labor to scratch off the ticket, it revealed her prize as she had hit the actual $10 Gold Rush jackpot for $300,000 cash.
Damn.
I'm still in shock, extremely grateful. She told officials from the South Carolina Education Lottery, I've never won anything before. What made her win extra sweet is that she just lost her job 2 days earlier.
Oh, wow.
It is crazy how things worked out. Woman says her newfound windfall will allow her to take it a little easier and not have to stress as much for bills, as well as buying a new home. The venue that sold her the ticket, meanwhile, will receive $3,000.
Not bad.
All right. As a ticket vendor. Now we have one more award, and this is a pretty decent award. Officer, what's his first name here? Zachary Hyde, was among 2 Tempe officers who received the Hero Award at the 35th Annual Mothers Against Drunk Driving Law Enforcement Recognition Banquet.
That just rolls off the tongue.
They said your hard work and diligence to ensuring safety on our streets is recognized tonight among officers from the whole state of Arizona, as Tempe had 2 of their officers honored for helping with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Unfortunately, he was arrested for DUI over the weekend. The department was notified of his investigation. Anytime a criminal investigation is brought to our attention about one of our officers, we take that matter very seriously. DPS confirms that the trooper arrested Hyde during a DUI investigation. They did not elaborate on anything. They said Hyde was immediately placed on administrative leave, pending an internal investigations. But yes, just a few days after winning the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Law Enforcement Recognition Award for being a hero, he was arrested.
Did they say why he won the award? Was it for
he was one of 2, I guess. I don't know what the criteria was.
Okay.
Maybe they set up the checkpoints or had a high total. I don't know. Or maybe
it says
they
your hard work and diligence on ensuring safety in our streets recognized tonight.
Speaking of winning, I did not see that turn coming in that story. As far as winning things, and Miles, you'll appreciate this. It says, I won a trip to the Marlboro Ranch because I went to a bar, and the Marlboro girl asked me if I wanted to play. I said, hell yeah. My buddy, he won a pair of headphones. I won the all-expenses-paid trip. I was going to take him till I found out he was a convicted felon, so I took my sister. However, in hindsight, I should have taken him. Dude, Marlboro had it going on back in the day.
Right.
They did. Was it Marlboro Bucks or something?
Yeah.
It was Camel
Marlboro
Cash and
Miles.
Marlboro Miles. Thank you.
You could get a canoe, you get a backpack.
I got the backpack, I got the sleeping bag, I got the tent.
And basically, which is weird. All this outdoorsy stuff for a smoker.
Oh, trust me. I heard it. We were hiking in the Appalachians, and I'm all excited because I had my backpack, my sleeping bag, my tent, all of it Marlboro branded. And all the hippie-looking folks going by, they were like, really, man? I'm like, really what? And they're like, Marlboro. I'm like, well, I'm a smoker. It's like, well, now you're hiking. I'm like, but here's the thing that you're not thinking about. Yes, they are killing me, but also if I didn't win this crap, I wouldn't be doing this. I am currently hiking on a mountain because I have some of the crap to do it.
Right.
So their prices were dope.
They were outstanding.
I got to go to a breakfast once at like a fancy steakhouse in D.C., and it was unreal.
Was it Marlboro?
Yeah. Somebody I knew had a bunch of miles. Were like, you want to go to this breakfast? It was delicious.
Dude, Marlboro, they were not messing around. That stuff was so good. And is it illegal to do now, I guess?
I guess so.
Because back in the day, so I smoked Marlboro, and when I'm living in New Orleans, I'm super broke. And at this point, Winston got into the game because it was Camel and Marlboro. They were going for everybody. So now Winston decided they wanted to kind of get a piece of the pie. So same thing. All these girls roll in, massive cleavage. They got all these cigarettes on them, and you can still smoke in the bar. You're easy to identify. And this woman comes up and says, I will trade you a pack of Winstons for whatever's left in your Marlboro, right? And I think I had 7 cigarettes left, and I said, I'll tell you what. You give me a case of Winston, and I will gladly give it to you. She gave me 3 cases of Winston's.
Damn.
Which when
3
you
cartons.
3 cartons. Sorry, 3 cartons of Winston. And then I smoked Winston for about a year, realized I really didn't like the taste, and switched back to Marlboro. But I was like, man, when you're broke, that was a deal.
I mean, even if you didn't smoke cigarettes, we go into nightclubs and stuff, they were always there, and you just handed out cigs.
When people threw away their cigarettes or left their cigarettes in the bar, the bartender would take them and cut out the little certificate, the little thing, and bartenders had a ton of miles on it.
Oh, my God.
I knew people that collected miles that didn't even smoke cigs.
Yeah,
just because they wanted the Marlboro stuff.
Saturday morning, I got up to play in a golf tournament with a couple of Ted and I's mutual friends. We finished second. We almost had a chance, but we just weren't.
You said you finished, 19 under or something?
19 under. But we didn't have it. That wasn't good enough. Either way, I get there, and my buddy Jay comes right out to me. He goes, did you see this video that Ted shared last night? And I was like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's on Facebook. I'm like, I'm not on Facebook. And he showed me the video.
Had to be on Twitter.
Oh, Twitter, sorry. One of our coworker, a guy that we've worked with here almost the entire time we've been here.
Brian Thorpe.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy
heard his name.
who used to make all the announcements when we would do any kind of big announcement. So if we were launching a Men's Room World Tour location or Red Fest or whatever,
this was his music.
He would come on and just go like, ladies and gentlemen, this Friday, the Men's Room. Hopefully you remember Brian, right?
Yeah.
He goes, so he works for Odyssey Corporate now. We don't see him as much as we do. Sometimes he'll come in for the big meetings and stuff, but he's kind of on a national level now.
He's important now.
Yeah, he's a big-time guy, right? So he goes to the Mariners game on Friday night, and it was drone night. I don't know, everything was incorporated, but the Mariners were giving away a boat.
Correct.
And the video I saw was they had written Brian's name with drones above center field.
Yeah.
And they are flashing, and he's down on the field jumping up and down with his hands in the air, and behind him is this huge-ass boat.
What, a pontoon boat that's wrapped in, like, Mariners gear?
Did you see this?
I did. My wife told me, it was yesterday, she goes, hey, did you hear Thorpe won a boat? I was like, what do you mean he won a boat? Because I thought that must mean something different. She goes, Brian Thorpe won a boat. I'm like, the hell did he win a boat? Same thing you just explained, right? The Mariners game. I'm like, Brian Thorpe won a freaking pontoon boat?
This is a boat.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. This is like the biggest pontoon boat you can buy. I mean, I swear to God. I mean,
and they won the thing.
They pay him back and forth, and they still didn't get to the bow and the stern of the thing. You know,
it's
like,
unbelievable.
You still didn't see the beginning of the end of the boat. I was like, oh my God, he won a boat. More of the random question coming up, 206-803-ROB.
It's warming up, folks, and about time to turn on your AC unit and cross your fingers. Or you can give up that moment of truth and switch to an American Standard heat pump system like I did. My place is on Comfort Autopilot thanks to American Standard. Energy efficient and reliable, my heat pump keeps things cool like the Arctic in the summer. And with energy incentives, I was able to save. Ready for the future of comfort? Learn more at AmericanStandardAir.com/electrification.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Here's why April chose to vaccinate her child.
I think actually meeting someone who was not vaccinated and now has a lifelong struggle with a childhood disease really cemented for me that it's super important that we as parents continue to vaccinate our children.
Talk to your pediatrician or visit yvaccines.com. Brought to you by Merck.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
These deals are working hard to save you money. From August 28th through September 3rd, save 15% off Balin stock tanks, $200 off Black Diamond log splitters, and find big discounts on shoes for the family.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Make the most of your Labor Day weekend with Coastal.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
And there's a random question 206-803-ROB.
Random.
Hello, Alex. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hola. Alex, welcome to the program. And the random question.
And Miles, real quick, before we start here...
we started the show like 52 minutes ago. I'm sure good.
Anyways... a few days ago, I was listening to an older show of your guys' back from in like 2016 or 17. And Miles, you mentioned then that you had this old radio from the 20s.
I do, yeah.
You didn't really mention anything other than that. And as a avid vintage radio collector, I'm just curious, what kind of radio is it exactly?
I believe it's a General Electric.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like from 1929, I believe, or 26 maybe. But it's a standalone piece, original. Speaker, tubes are new. Mm-hmm. Only thing you got to do, man, is make sure you turn it off, because if not, man, you're going to burn your house down.
Yeah.
The thing gets about 900 degrees. So, I got to be careful not to pass out listening to music with it on. But, yeah.
Yeah, and the most recent radio I got at a flea market is a Norelco from 1952, I believe. Everything is completely new and stock factory original. Works like a charm.
That's awesome. And you can shave with it. Okay, let's see. What are we going to do? Okay, let's go with this one. Alex, what did you have to stop doing? What did you have to stop doing for whatever reason?
Playing like actual organized league hockey when I was a young kid.
Is that based on the physical toll that was taken to your body or headshots?
None of the above. You see, I was slumping in my grades in school, and my parents felt it necessary to take me out of the program. And these were the same parents who said, and I quote, It doesn't matter how good or bad you're doing in school. If you want to keep playing hockey, we will let you keep doing it.
All right, so if you got your grades up, you can play. Is that the idea?
Yes, but I never fulfilled that necessity.
Well, it's a fair trade-off.
I mean, that's what you got to do as a parent, man. It sucks.
Whether you believe in it or not, that's kind of part of what you got to lay down.
That was one of the things I had to drop on my kid. Like I said, to go to a private school, and at the beginning of this most previous school year, he's been a little lackadaisical about the whole thing. And I said, look, man, I can not make you do anything. It's your choice. But what I can control is where the hell you go to school. So I'm like, look, dude, you got about 1 month. The grades don't go. I'm pulling your ass out, and I'm saving the money.
Yep.
And I mean, it hit him because, I wasn't joking. I'm like, you can be lazy, but you need to be lazy for free. That's all.
Yeah. I think that's totally fair.
It is that simple. If you're going to be lazy, because I'm not here to change who you are, but brother, I ain't paying for you to go there. And I know you don't care beyond the fact that your entire friend group, and he's super tight with his buddies, man. That's what hit him. And I even said to my wife, I'm like, he doesn't care about the school. It is his friends that are there because they run together all of the time. But guess what happened? His grades skyrocketed. They skyrocketed.
You just have to figure out a way in life to manage what your responsibilities are.
That's all I told him. I said, look,
That's
man,
all it is.
I know you don't like homework. Nobody likes homework. I'm like, your sister does not like homework, but you know what she does? As soon as she gets home, she gets it done because she hates it, and it's just not hanging over her head.
All kinds of dumb stuff. You get up in the morning, first thing I do is take something out of the freezer so I'll have food to eat for dinner.
Right. It's just
Like,
these little
all
things.
these things that you got to do during the day, and you just try to fulfill as many of them as you can. You're going to forget one or two. Like, I'll get home and go, oh, no, I didn't take any of my medicine. Or whatever the deal is. But there's always something different, but you need to do things that are important.
Well, that's the thing.
And that's important.
Life's not always fun, but you can guarantee you will have fun if you live under this roof by just taking care of the responsibility.
And everybody does stuff, right? Like, look, we like our jobs. There's plenty of days I don't want to go to work.
Of course.
Yeah, it's like, right, but it's your job.
And the
you gotta
problem,
go to work.
And the problem with school is that you need to do well and you want to do well. Some subjects just don't come as easily as others. And you can study, you can go to after school, help with tutors and everything else, but I still couldn't figure out Algebra 2. I mean, no matter what it was, like it was just so
my father
frustrating.
tried.
I think I cried at one point in time trying to do homework in like the 8th grade. Like, I'm an 8th grader. I shouldn't be crying over school. And I was just like, I don't know this. I can't figure it out.
I remember watching my father
lose
his temper. He doesn't lose his temper. My father's just not a guy that loses his temper. I did not do anything wrong, but he was losing his temper because, just like Algebra 2, man, I'm not absorbing the information he's trying to put down. And I think he had to get past the point of, okay, he's not effing with me. He just doesn't get it. And I think my father's like, look, I don't know. I've tried 18 explanations for this, and none of it gets in your head. And I even tell my kid, too, you don't have to do great in school. Just graduate.
Yep.
There's no permanent record unless you got arrested and you're 18.
The reason we asked, what did you hate to or have to stop doing? This one sucks. This came our way Friday afternoon. Steven Tyler is never going to fully recover from his vocal issues. So as of Friday afternoon, Aerosmith announced that they made the, quote, heartbreaking and difficult but necessary decision to retire from the touring stage. They postponed the show here at least once.
Because you were going to go to that, weren't you?
Rescheduled for Climate Pledge. Black Crowes were going to open up. I think they did more than maybe 6 or 7 shows. And I watched video of the first show, maybe in Philadelphia or wherever they're playing. They sounded great. The band was as tight as I'd ever heard them.
Sure. I mean, you've been playing with the same guys for 50 years.
And I've seen them once. That was part of the reason. I was like, you know what, man, I've seen them before. I know they're good live.
I was going to go to this show
one more time.
because I told myself, like, dude, go to this last tour because you just know they're not coming around again.
And
now I can't even do it.
We have had Joe Perry on, the guitarist for Aerosmith. That was a fun and entertaining interview. But other than that, these guys have been doing this since they were in their either late teens or early 20s.
Right.
They don't know anything else other than the success they've had from this band. So when you look at it from that perspective, the idea, like, everybody wants to retire, but when you're Aerosmith, you maybe don't want to retire.
I don't think you want to retire from that.
Because you're enjoying what you're doing. You're playing with the same guys you've known your entire life.
You've been through it.
And you're a band together. You still have all the original members. We are grateful.
Are they still all the original members?
Well, I believe so, yeah.
Damn, that's super impressive.
For anyone who was pumped to get on the road with us one last time, play our music loud, now and always. Dream on, you made our dreams come true. The Black Crowes, they were supposed to open for Aerosmith on their Peace Out tour, said they were, and it was the Peace Out tour. They were going to be done.
Right.
Shocked and saddened by the announcement, but they said, quote, nothing but love and respect to our friends in Aerosmith. Now, during a show in Detroit on Friday night, Sammy Hagar called it, quote, effing honorable for Tyler to know when to quit. He had a quote, the day I can't sing anymore, I'll do the effing same thing. And that's what a lot of other you know what?
I think we see where he's going there.
Should have done a long time ago as well. And I believe he was talking about David Lee Roth.
Yeah, you know he was. They hate each other. They've always hated each other.
Or
and
Vince
to be
Neil.
fair, I don't think he hates Vince Neil. I know he hates David Lee Roth, and David Lee Roth hates him in return. They always have, for whatever reason. But Roth has sounded really bad as of late.
Well,
and he still sounds good.
Oh, Hagar?
Yeah,
dude, he sounds
2
exactly
years
the
ago,
same.
we had him at Pain in the Grass. Like, again, I did not, like, I won't lie to you and tell you I'm a huge Hagar fan. I was really impressed.
Hit after hit after hit.
Yeah,
after hit
and like
after hit.
he sounds like he should.
And he's still excited to do it.
Also,
One
he's in
thing
his
about
se- he's in
Sammy
his
Hagar,
70s,
he is enthusiastic about what he's doing. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
And he can
And then,
sing.
like Bon Jovi.
I will say real quick. I don't know all the inner background of the Van Halen stuff.
Yeah.
And I know David Lee Roth comes off as the fun-loving guy, this and that. I feel like it'd be easy to dislike him in person.
Yeah, I do too.
I know you have a good story with him, but like for Sammy Hagar, like everybody loves him, this and that. I bet he could be a real ass.
Well, not only that, but Sammy Hagar is the one who reached out to David Lee Roth and said, hey, we can do this tour together.
Yeah.
You know, you can come out, we'll do it in chronological order, or hell, if you want me to come out first.
Yeah,
You know, we
whatever.
have the band.
Yeah.
It's like the band knows Van Halen. We play all the Van Halen. Michael Anthony's he's the bassist in the
Yeah.
band. Like the band is the band. John Bonham can play anything. Jason Bonham
Yeah.
can play anything. You got Joe Satriani on guitar. He can play every lick that Eddie Van Halen ever could. So the band's going to sound solid. And he threw out that olive branch. Hey, man, you want to play your catalog? I'll go out and play mine. We're not going to out-rock each other. It's the same band doing the same stuff we always had. That never came to fruition.
You know who didn't get a call? Gary Sharon.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a weird statement.
Out-rock each other.
Let's out-rock. Who could out-rock whoever, bro?
Dude, I get the feeling that is still how they talk to us.
No, it is.
You know it is. No, man, I'll go out there and rock, then you go out there and rock, but we'll agree. We're not here to out-rock each other.
If you're a smart band, you know not to put a band that can burn the house down on stage in front of you before you go out.
But sometimes you don't know. Because you get a lot
You
of
better
bands.
damn well know.
There's some new bands, there's a new band that they haven't gotten a lot of hype. No one really knows. And then you put someone like Rage Against the Machine in the early 90s, and you realize we've booked these guys for the next month. Like, it does not
They
bode well for
accidentally,
you.
young Gojira or somebody's going to come out first. Then
Yeah.
you go, oh, God.
You just don't know, man.
What have we done? You know? Who
It
is
does
this
happen.
band?
I forget. I gotta say what the concert was, but Avenged Sevenfold was really starting to get big.
All right.
And they came out before the headliner. And I mean, just crushed it. Mike, I didn't know you then, but I think you were at the same show. And like a lot of people, the headliner's a great band, but they just tore the house down. You're like, ugh. All right.
Who was the top band? Who was the headliner?
I don't remember.
Yeah, somebody we know.
but it happens, man. When Kiss was getting big, because Kiss was the first put on that kind of stage show, they got dropped from so many different tours because the headliners are like, we don't want to follow this. Even the people that don't know this band, and they're not the greatest band, but like their makeup, there's fire breathing, blood spitting, there's confetti dropping out of the sky, flames are shooting up, and it's like, and now Blue Oyster Cult. Like, it just.
I've seen it at festivals. Like when you're at Summer Meltdown, everybody's all fired up because Bass Nectar was playing Saturday night, right?
All right.
But Friday night, Big Gigantic came out and just absolutely crushed. And it zapped some of the energy. I was like, I don't even want to go see Bass Nectar now.
Well, speaking of Aerosmith, I saw them in the Civic Arena, the Igloo in Pittsburgh, where they filmed The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. One of the domes where the stadium actually opens, like down in Sacramento, right? You can actually open up the roof on it. And Aerosmith was on their permanent vacation tour.
All right.
And Aerosmith was great. But it was back in the day when you had a curtain. So all of Aerosmith's stuff, typically
behind,
you can see
yeah.
kind of the open stage when you're at a show.
Sure.
You kind of get an idea of what might happen, right? Aerosmith did not allow that. They had a giant-ass red curtain. And I swear to you, there maybe were 15 feet.
And that's it.
Maybe 15 feet in the front of the stage. The kit set up. I know the band from Welcome to the Jungle. That's it on MTV. And it's Guns N' Roses. I'm like, oh, cool. I know their song.
Yeah.
I mean, they just played the album top to bottom. And Aerosmith they just paled in comparison that night.
Sure.
To with no lights, they didn't have crap out there. It was just Guns N' Roses in front of a curtain, Axl just swaying back and forth across the stage. Slash smoking the entire time.
Right.
Izzy was smoking the entire time. Duff was smoking the entire time. That bottles on the stage. It looked like the cover of the
back cover of the album
that they didn't really want to release. It kind of had that feel to it. And Aerosmith came out with I don't know. I think the big song was Angel. It was just a slower jam. But I mean, Aerosmith still played their stuff. But the hour of the Guns N' Roses were just like, okay.
We don't need it.
Good luck with that. I was
It's
watching.
funny, someone here says late 80s, Guns N' Roses, opening for The Cult.
Yeah. You just.
And I love The Cult, but there's
Me
no
too.
way. There's no way that should be the order.
They don't have the catalog, even with that one album.
You'll see it sometimes, too, if you go to like an EDM show.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare, but my own friend did this by mistake. They were playing like these crazy beach parties down in Panama City Beach, right? This is like 15 years ago. So spring break, this and that. And I forget who the main DJ is. So basically, the stage is in front of the hotel. He's up there. My buddy just forgets who he's opening up for and plays that guy's hit.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Yeah. And I guess the real DJ was just beyond pissed, and like his team's like running downstairs, like, get him the F off our stage.
Yeah. That is absolutely the worst. Oh my God.
You guys
yeah, he said he just got caught up in the moment. Was
you're not
like,
thinking, right?
I'm playing this banger.
I mean, I'm sure you guys would have joked around with the
It was Queen's, right?
and played some, but you can't replace Jeff Tate's vocals. So there's nobody that can go up there and sing.
No, but I
mean, unless you're obviously Todd.
But they didn't know that we were joking. So we were backstage at the show. We're opening for Queensryche. And we say, hey, guys, man, thanks for letting us open. Yeah, no problem, bro. But as a tribute to you guys, man, all the songs we're doing tonight are going to be Queensryche songs. And you could hear a pin drop and just the looks on their faces. And, I mean, they were just staring at us, not like angry, but just like dumbfounded and kind of terrified, right? And then we finally, like, guys, we're joking.
Yes.
We're not like, oh, Jesus Christ, you wouldn't do that, would you? I'm like, well, now that you're saying it, I might next time, but no, we're not going to play your songs.
I watched, there was a documentary on Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi, right?
Yeah.
And it was on Hulu or Netflix or whatever. It was like only 4 episodes. But it basically just documented his vocal problems and, like what he was going through. Because the band started out on tour and then, he just could not hit the notes. So he's got voice coaches. He's going to doctors. He's doing all this stuff and he's trying to hit these notes. And the best part about it was he's like listening to old Bon Jovi in a recording studio. But he's still got a microphone. He's still trying to get that pitch, that sound. He's trying to just get to where he was. And he just, at one point in time, he goes, God, why? Why did I hit that note? Why did I do that back then? It was so easy. And he's like, now it's just like, it's the Antichrist of, anything that I can never replicate.
He's got to hit that note.
I can't do it.
Well, I think Vince Neil's having that problem, right? Because he was so screechy back in the day. Like, bro, just on age alone, you're not going to hit those notes again. David Lee Roth. It's one of his all his woo-hoo, yeah, all that stuff that he did in his 20s. Like, it ain't so easy in your late 60s or early 70s.
Random.
Hello, Amy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola! Amy, welcome to the program. Random question. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing great.
All right. Let's see here. Amy, what do we have for you? Okay. Let's go with this one. What would you say is something that you are really, really bad at? It just doesn't come natural to you.
Well, I'm really bad with computers, like really bad. I mean, somebody can show me something and I just forget it like in an instant.
I do the same thing. I learned to copy and paste probably 10 years ago. And everyone's like, how do you not know how to do this? I'm like, I never thought to ask. But now that I know, to me, that is the height of technology. I don't need to know another thing.
Do you use your computer special programs when you work, Amy?
No, so I'm a bartender, so I don't really need to. I mean, I have to learn like the POS system that we have.
Well, that's pretty complicated. I've watched
you
guys tap in stuff. It doesn't look like the easiest program.
Don't you love that they call it the POS system? That is legitimately what it is called. Yeah.
And it is a lot of times a POS.
Yes, it lives up to its name.
Yeah, it definitely does. But like, I only just got a smartphone like a year ago, and I'm 45.
Were you flip phone before that?
Yep, I was. My boyfriend's a real techie guy, and he got me a smartphone. He was like, this is embarrassing.
Now, is that part of what brings you guys together, is that he's super techie and you're just super not?
No, it wasn't, but it's helpful because I really don't know anything about computers. But my dad is a good computer guy, so, I guess it just didn't catch on with me.
Okay. So as your boyfriend, does he just do things for you, or does he try to teach you and get exasperated?
He a little bit of both. He sometimes tries to tease me and make me figure it out on my own, and then I get frustrated, then I make him help me.
Okay.
And he just laughs at me.
Did you pick him up at your bar?
Yes, actually I did.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right, then. So
All
it
right.
does happen. Because there's a couple computer guys I know in the neighborhood in Fremont, and they are always at the bar. They're seemingly nice guys. I've never talked to them. They always have like one or two computers out on the bar. They have their headphones in, they have their head down, and they're legitimately working.
Yeah, they're doing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just doing it from the bar. And if you don't have to go in the office, and that's where you want your
I would
office
be at
to
the bar in a heartbeat.
I think that's okay, you know?
All right, Amy, who hit on who first? Did he start flirting with you, or did you start flirting with him?
He started flirting with me first.
And how much does that happen? What separated him from everyone else? Because I'm sure as a female bartender, pretty much every dude that rolls in flirts with you.
I haven't really gotten many like serious people in a long time because I was a day bartender for a long time. So most of my regulars were like
80 years old, yeah.
Yeah. So it was the first time in a while that I had actually worked nights, and it was kind of a nicer restaurant. But I was going to say is he actually works in the same building you guys do, and he sometimes sees you and says hi to you.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Okay, well.
Yeah.
What does he look like?
He's in his early 40s. He's got grayish, kind of curly hair, a beard, glasses. And I guess he came up to Ted one time when he was having lunch and said, Amy the Boar Killer says hi.
Oh, yeah. I think I ran into him across the way grabbing lunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, well, nice job picking up a customer there, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine. As soon as she said, I work daytime, I'm like, right. Everyone in there's 80 years old, and they're in there every day.
Either
It
that
is
or they're
tough.
working the overnight and they kick in there for a dinner before they take their noon sleep.
I was going to say, it's tough. Of all the thousands of times I've been to a bar, there's been probably a couple times where I was like, all right,
Maybe.
yeah.
I mean, just real quick, at our local watering hole, how many times have you gone in during the day, like on the weekend or a day off, and you didn't know someone in there? My wife and I went in there like noon yesterday. As soon as we walked in, I'm like, we know everyone, because this is the daytime crew.
Correct.
All bar full. You go in at night, it's about 50-50.
If I go in on a Sunday, there's two guys I know will always be in there. And like, if
I know who they are.
Yeah, if I show up by like 3:30, I'll be like, "What are you guys doing here? Is it 3 p.m. Your cutoff? We're leaving."
Razor ass, what are you really bad at? It is, as the Chicago Tribune notes, a funk for the ages. The reference is to the Chicago White Sox, who managed to lose their 20th straight game yesterday.
Congratulations.
To fall 60 games under 500. The team isn't just bad. It has the potential to be the worst team in the modern era. With yesterday's 13-7 loss to Minnesota, the White Sox became only the 7th team since 1901 to lose 20 games in a row. Now the longest losing streak since the O's lost 21 in 1988.
I remember that.
The White Sox are now just 3 games off a record 23 straight losses by the Philadelphia Phillies in 1961. The only upside for the Sox is that they start a series tonight against the Oakland A's, who have a 46-67 record. Now the 27-87 White Sox, again, they've won 27. They've lost 87. Are on pace for 123 losses, which would eclipse the 120 put up by the hapless Mets expansion team of 1962. The White Sox also are in danger of earning the worst winning percentage in history. Chicago is currently at .237. The worst belongs to the 1916 Philadelphia A's at .235.
Damn, man.
I might even go just to watch and see how bad they were.
I mean, at some point, you're rooting for them to lose, not because you hate them, you just want to see history.
But what if you're there when they win? I mean, the
It
place
kinda
has got to go
sucks.
nuts, right? I mean, you have to think.
Maybe. I don't know.
More of the Random Question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
It's one thing falling in love with a house, and quite another navigating the world of negotiating, mortgage lenders, and finding the budget that works best for you. Guidance from an agent who's a Realtor can make all the difference, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare. the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
It's one thing falling in love with a house, and quite another navigating the world of negotiating, mortgage lenders, and finding the budget that works best for you. Guidance from an agent who's a Realtor can make all the difference, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
A sense of belonging is vital to human connection. At Providence, we're cultivating a workplace where every person feels inspired and included, where our workforce reflects the communities we serve, and our differences are considered a source of strength, where everyone can grow, where everyone belongs. We're hiring across our 7-state footprint for roles in nursing, allied health, clinical support, information technology, and administration. Find a fulfilling role at providence.jobs/belong.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
It is random question 206-803-ROCK.
If you were on hold, please call back.
We lost your calls.
Yeah. Okay. Like it just happened.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys a random question then. Stuff happens. All right. Let's see here. Okay. What would you guys say that you have seen that you had to get a picture of because it was so ridiculous, good or bad?
Most recently, a guy's severe case of plumber's butt.
Okay.
Severe. My wife kind of pointed out, just kind of nudged me. Looked over, grabbed the phone, snapped a quick pic. Because it was unbelievable. So much ass was hanging out that based on the bar stool he was sitting on, we believe it was half ass, half pants that were making and then we were like, I never want to sit in that bar stool again.
Yeah.
I remember exactly which one it was.
I don't know about recently, but like Crater Lake. When I went there, I was like, holy cow.
Just that spectacular.
It's that stunningly beautiful. And frankly, I was just shocked I was there.
And didn't you get pictures of the Northern Lights when they were here, but you couldn't? Yep. Could you actually see them? Because you said like your picture, the photograph gave you a better view of the Northern Lights than you physically had when you're standing.
We could kind of see them,
right?
But when we really took pictures of each other, it was like, holy cow, there they are for real.
See, man, I don't take pictures of a lot of things. I'm just not that guy, and I know I'll never look at them again unless your ass is hanging out. But if I saw the Northern Lights, I definitely would snap pictures of that.
I take pictures of random stuff, too. Like, I took a picture this weekend as I went to a movie theater. There was nobody else in there.
Oh, you're just taking a picture of the entrance?
Yeah, I was just like,
when we saw
it's just us.
That is kind of weird.
We were in New Orleans for the Ravens in the Super Bowl. We're in a bar. And this is how long ago it's been since the Ravens have been in the Super Bowl. We're in a bar, and I have a digital small camera.
Mm-hmm.
Not my phone. A digital small camera. Now, when this flash fires up, it was like it did the thing where it did like a practice flash first, like and then a full-blown boom, like with noise. And I mean, we're trying to get a picture of this girl's ass.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You're
leaving this out. First of all, it was a dark bar, fairly windowless, right? There's a door that went outside, otherwise no windows. Your wife at the time was with us, so you slid me the camera. So the guilty party ended up being me. I did not realize the flash was on. And look, this woman's ass was well worth taking a picture of. And, we know what it sounds like. Don't care. And so I kind of held the camera down. Like, I took the picture subtly until it did the poof. Well, then everybody turns around like, where did the flash come from? And I'm the one holding the camera. It's like, I must have hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
Did we actually get the picture?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we got it. Yeah.
You also took a picture of that chick's ass in, was it Venezuela, or they were from Venezuela?
Oh, my God. It was in Puerto Rico. Wow. Wow.
It was the biggest ass.
Wow. I had my wife take it, and I was like leaning back so that she can get like me smiling, and then and I mean, you've never seen anything like this ass in your entire life. It was its own planet.
It was
Like,
huge.
When she walked around, the earth shook. I mean, it was insane.
And she was wearing red, so you couldn't miss it.
To the point where my wife was like, absolutely get a picture of that thing. You're never going to see anything like that again. And I was like, I know. I could not believe it. And she was all done up. Look great, whatever. The reason we asked, what did you see that you had to get a picture of? A humpback whale.
Real quick. I know a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm just not a fan of the sneak picture on others.
I understand that.
Now, the ass, I can fathom it, but I don't know. Just like, I know some people, and it's like, sorry.
But what are they taking pictures of? Because
sometimes it's just like making fun of people or this or that, and it's like a lot of people do it, and maybe they don't mean it to be that harsh. To me, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's really.
Well, I would never post that. That's for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. You didn't post it.
Yeah, these pictures are ones that I'll bring in and go, look at this.
But so far, we've brought up 3 pictures we've taken, and all 3 involve ass. Like, apparently.
All in a complimentary way.
Well, not mine.
Okay. All right.
It was unreal how much ass was hanging out of the back of that stool.
A humpback whale that's missing its tail was spotted in Washington State's inland waters, likely lost its tail after becoming entangled or possibly in some kind of line or fishing gear, according to experts. That loss of the flukes used for propulsion there would appear to be a death sentence for the creature. Last reported as seen in late July. The research director with the Whale Museum on Washington's San Juan Island, among those who responded to a sighting of that whale July 23rd. The Institute, as part of its work, helps respond to reports of stranded or distressed marine mammals. Did you see the picture of this whale without a tail, Ted?
No.
It's like seeing someone who's missing their hand. It's like it's breaching. Its head's back in the water. There's just a stump.
And where was it?
It was in Puget Sound.
The Sound.
Kind of up by the San Juan Islands. There hasn't been another reported sighting of the whale since that day, she said, but everyone has an emotion when they witness a humpback whale dive, and you see those massive flukes, sometimes over 15 feet across. And here's this whale. It does not have that. It's like us losing our legs.
Yeah.
Experts with whom photos and video of the whale were shared have concluded it likely lost its flukes due to entanglement, but said it's not known exactly what it became entangled in. But yes, they have not seen the whale since that time.
Speaking of things you have to take a picture of.
Oh, God, that's weird looking.
Yeah. Right, that's what I mean. It's just a stump, man. There's no way that whale is still alive. I mean, it's your propulsion, right? Somebody here says, I drove by a dead raccoon on the road with a balloon tied to it saying, get well soon. I think I would stop, take a picture of that one. Then someone has a random question for us. Says, hey, everyone, I'm having trouble figuring out what I want for dinner tonight. Do you guys have any suggestions? I don't have any food allergies, and I'm not that picky, so let's get crazy.
Okay.
I don't know. I was going to have some grilled burger. We were just going to do...
That actually sounds pretty good. Good old hamburger.
Well, no. Here's the thing. We were going to do burgers tonight. We determined that last night. Let's do something quick, easy, do it on the grill. Everyone in the family's happy. My wife was surprised by a very good friend of ours who has 4 kids, so my wife texted me to say, hey, to make lunch for everyone, I have taken our dinner tonight. So it will not be burgers tonight.
Oh.
So maybe get yourself a good burger.
Yeah, or just go get one.
Or do that.
Yeah.
You know what? Go get one. Go get a burger, man. That's the right
crazy
call.
son of a bitch. Go get a burger.
There you go. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Justin, welcome to the program. Random question. What do we have for you? Let's go this one. All right. Justin, where do you go if it's a destination where you know you're going to party? Maybe you go camping once a year. Maybe you've gone to, I don't know, Cabo, Cancun, Las Vegas. Where do you go to party when it's a destination?
Me and my girlfriend really enjoy Puerto Vallarta, romantic zone out there. It's pretty fun.
Okay. What makes the romantic zone romantic? Or is it just you're going to get drunk and have crazy sex?
I think it's just what they call it, but it's like the gay community out there, basically.
All right.
Oh, all right.
And they party it up.
You know what, dude? That's a good call. Like when I go to Cape Cod, I'll always go out to Provincetown, which is a notorious, famous kind of gay community. But I mean, it's fun out there.
Well, Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, Key West in Florida. Like, there's some places you go.
Look, people go to Nashville, man, and it becomes an S show. I mean, the bachelorette parties, they're not the ones responsible for the news articles about people doing stupid crap. Sometimes it's famous people and everything else, but typically when you go to Nashville, it is it's more than you expected. I'll just put it that way.
Put it this way: my friends were on a bachelor party in Nashville. And one guy puked in the middle of the day in the street, and he was like, nobody blinked an eye.
Nobody cares. Right. Okay. There's places, to me, it's any place where I refuse to take the kids, right? So my wife always says, well, if we go to Vegas with the kids, there are things for kids to do. I understand that. Yeah. But also, there's a lot more things for me to do that I can do if the kids aren't there. We both really enjoy spending time in New Orleans. And I'm like, that'd be great for the kids to see. And when they turn 21, I will gladly bring them with me because New Orleans, like, even if you're not there to party, just the way you eat and drink and the way the culture is there, you're still going to get messed up because it's almost demanded of you just by being there.
Wife and I went down to Curacao, which is just a little bit north of Venezuela. They're called the ABC Islands. Aruba, maybe.
Barbados?
No, it's not
Bermuda?
Barbados. It's something else. It's like a diving island. I cannot remember the name of the B island. Either way, Curacao is the other one. And it's the Dutch. Right. The same with Aruba. So we go down there, we check into the hotel, and the guy at the front desk, he's like, are you guys are not with the wedding party, are you? And we're like, no. We're just here there, for 5 days, whatever. And he says, oh, okay. And he starts doing his thing with the keyboard. He's like, I see you have a partial view. I'm going to give you a free upgrade. And we're like, well, that's awesome. Thank you. Why? And I'm like, look, man, you don't have to do that. We don't spend much time in the room.
Right.
Like, we're going to be out and about doing stuff, and I don't need a view of whatever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care. And he's like, no, we're going to put you in a different wing of the hotel because the wedding is in this, all their rooms are in this one area. And I was like, man, I don't care. He's like, no, sir, I'm going to move you. And I was like, okay, all right, fine, whatever. So we get in that part, and then we go down, unpack, go down to the bar. We're sitting there, and the bartender says, are you guys with the wedding party? And we're like, no, we're not with the wedding party. Like, why? Is this like some huge-ass wedding? Are they taking over the hotel? And he's like, no, the wedding party is coming from Venezuela. We're like, okay, cool. All right, yeah, I mean, it's 90 minutes away, like a ferry ride or whatever. It's really close. I'm sure that happens all the time. Destination wedding. We are at the beach one day, and the Venezuelans arrived. And I swear to God, it was like a Corona commercial. Two guys are running out with like skimpy, Speedo underwear on, bodies just absolutely chiseled. They're carrying a cooler. Another dude's got a volleyball, the stands and the net on his shoulder running out there. Another guy's got this big briefcase. I don't know what this is going to be. Folds it. It's a DJ booth, and two other guys come out. Man, they got big-ass speakers. They transformed this beach into about a 50-person, half-naked party. And I mean, all right. And then I was like, I get it now. The Venezuelans are coming. Like,
This is how they're going to do it.
This is how they're going to throw down. And they threw down that way for 3 days straight. I mean, up all night, having a great time.
Was this the chick with the big ass in red?
No, that was Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This was in this is a very quiet town in Curacao. It's not really. I did not realize this would be like Cancun,
right,
or Cabo.
I do like the DJ booth. I feel like,
oh my God,
that's a pro touch right there.
I just like in the hotel staff. They are helping them. They're rolling out like tables for them, electricity so they can plug in. They're getting them all set up.
Did you mix it up with them?
I mean, we talked to a couple of them at the bar, but I mean, they were just they don't wear clothes.
Right.
So everything they were wearing was just like they took like one footy sock and made a bathing suit. It was just insane. I mean, for all of us, we were all just like just gasping, like, wow, this is.
I dig that, man.
This is intense.
I would have tried to mix it up.
I absolutely would have.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Back to being the ugliest person at the hotel immediately.
But that's okay. Because somebody, people like ugly people sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
I got a buddy that's not that good looking. He married a Venezuelan.
Did he really?
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, I bet.
Does he know that you don't think
I swear to God, none of them were ugly.
Yeah. I would say it to his face.
They're all wearing that, like, the nice white, really airy, like, linen.
Linen?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Because it's hot.
They look sharp, man.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice jewelry on.
Yeah, they're beach people.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, beach people are a different breed, man.
They are.
For
They know
sure.
what they're doing for sure. You know what I mean?
You come in prepared. They have everything ready to go. And as soon as you are set up right, the party goes, well, until it ends. And when it ends is just whenever the hell.
And truthfully, the DJ equipment, it has gotten so easy to do.
It has.
Like, I mean, like my one buddy, like before we were going to the wedding in Austin, he's like, hey, man, I got to drop something off in your room. Like, what the hell is this? So, God, it's just my speaker and my, turntables.
Of course, yeah.
For the after party.
The hotel, they had a portable bar that I guess they use when they wheel them around to conference rooms or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They took that out there. So they weren't allowed to bring their own booze, but they were allowed to drink, on property.
All right.
The hotel. So they had a guy out there, like in a tuxedo, on the beach, serving them, making mixed drinks for the entire party, which all went on like one tab, I guess, because when I was going to the bar, they're like, are you on the wedding party tab? And I'm like, no. But it was just so obvious.
Why didn't you just sneak one in there?
Because look at me. I mean,
still, they can have a white friend from the States.
I don't know about that.
Dude, we did it in Golden, Colorado.
Well, that makes sense for white.
Right, but it's a wedding. People are dressed up. Me and Will and my brother were not. We just were sitting at the bar that happened, and we're like, yeah, went to the wedding. I think the bartender obviously knew.
But it doesn't matter.
He was just like, yeah,
all right,
They're not going to itemize. Dude, we didn't break into, but we joined the agriculture convention, the lawn care.
It was,
whatever. Either way, we weren't a part of that. We don't look like we're part of that, but they had free booze and music. So we're like, actually, we didn't say, yes, we're part of it. The bartender said, hey, there's a private event. And we said, well, can we still go in? And he's like, you didn't hear me say yes, but go ahead. And then we just grabbed the name tags. Yeah. And when other people asked us if we were supposed to be there, we're like, yeah, of course, I'm going to grab another beer. And we got absolutely S-House.
That was nice.
We had fun, too, as we started talking to people in the wedding, right? And somebody was just like, so you guys know, like, let's call her Becky.
Yeah.
We're like, ugh. And, like, we didn't miss a beat. Will's like, yeah. We're not going to go into how we know Becky, but, yeah, we've known her since college. And so he's like, really? Since college? And, like, we kept it going for about 5 minutes. And we're like, look, we have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not listen to three random
I'm saying, was Becky there?
It was her wedding.
Oh.
We were trashing the bride.
Oh,
we
no.
thought somebody would be smart enough to be like,
ooh, yeah, I don't want to talk about Becky.
Yeah, we've known her since college. Before, and because we were smart, we grabbed one of the things. So we knew the groom's name, we knew the bride's name.
Jesus. I like that, man. It's good planning.
Yeah.
Fraser, we asked, where do you go destination-wise to party? Looks like we've got a new destination in North America if you're looking for a good time. Not that it was never a bad one, but this just adds to it. Montreal is looking to create a designated 24-hour nightlife district. Now, the district already exists. But they're making a change to the noise bylaw. More details are expected to be revealed in the new year, according to the chair of Montreal's executive committee. The measure was discussed during a city council meeting on Monday when they were asked about measures that would be put in place for venues dealing with noise violations. They're going to shut a lot of those places down starting at 2 a.m.
Okay.
They're then going to designate an area. The administration said they're looking to create its first neighborhood with a 24/7 nightlife. It's so far unclear. They've narrowed it down to 2 old historic locations, kind of the equivalent of a Pioneer Square and another Pioneer Square, right?
Everybody I know that has ever been to Montreal is already like, it's a great party city.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
But it's expected to be close to the downtown core. The city said to expect a bylaw on nightlife to be unveiled in early 2024, so sometime this year, with public discussions on the matter. There will also likely be certain buildings or establishments that could operate around the clock.
Yeah.
They are looking to grant 12 of those licenses. Noise bylaws will be adjusted to better respond to the mission of these businesses. Now, several bars and restaurants along the St. Laurent Boulevard, they were already allowed to serve alcohol all night during a designated weekend in February. They had no problems. So all the bars were allowed to be open throughout the month of February on the weekends until what hour?
4.
8 a.m.
Damn.
8 a.m.
Okay.
They said it's been testing different measures for 2 years to determine how improve the nightlife in the city, while also obviously preserving quality of life for the residents. But they are thinking about going for it and making a 24-hour party scene. Not only that, these areas will also be designated drinking areas. Which basically means that if you wanted to leave an establishment with your plastic cup full of whatever,
you can walk with it.
You can walk outside, and you can walk next door into the other establishment.
They're going to treat adults like adults.
Get out of here.
Wild.
In Montreal.
Crazy stuff.
More of the Random Question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
These deals are working hard to save you money. From August 28th through September 3rd, save 15% off Balin stock tanks, $200 off Black Diamond log splitters, and find big discounts on shoes for the family.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Make the most of your Labor Day weekend with Coastal.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Win your share of $100,000. It's easy. Download the Odyssey app, sign in, listen for 1 hour to this fine radio program or any of the great radio shows here at KISW. Your chance to win your share of $100,000 cash. It is absolutely free to enter. So is the app. All you got to do is register. To let them know you're there and then listen for 1 hour. Your chance to win that money. It is our random question, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jim. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. Jim, welcome to the program. Random question. All right. Okay, Jim, this is maybe a harder question than not. But brought up the fact that one of our listeners texted in, hey, I don't know what to have for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Steve, you recommended a hamburger because you're going to have them for dinner.
I was going to have them, but I got ambushed. By the way, he did say he's going to have a burger and an IPA.
Okay, cool. All right, so where would you say, if it's local, if it's on a national level, where is your all-time favorite place to go and get a hamburger?
Oh, hands down, Habit Burger.
Habit Burger. Now, I've never had one. Are they all that and more?
For a regional type of burger place, I really enjoy it. And it's more importantly that my wife gets exactly what she wants there. So it makes me happy.
Okay.
Yes, it goes a long way.
Important.
What kind of fries they got?
They have seasoned fries, and they also have malt vinegar. And being married to a woman
Okay.
half from the UK, you got to have it, right?
Well, you forget how good that is on French fries until you're at a fish and chips place.
I love vinegar, man. I'm a potato
then you're
product.
like, why don't I do this more often? At home, anything.
What part of the UK is your wife from?
My wife isn't from the UK. Her mother is from the UK.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's what you grow up on.
All right, now wait. If you visit her mother, what kinds of food is she presenting to you, knowing that the UK is not known for its plethora of good food?
Let me clarify something right away. I don't visit her. She lives with me every day.
Oh, lucky you.
I see.
Can hear the happiness in your voice.
Every day, so not even one day off.
See, there's a way you phrase that's a tip-off. Not, hey, she lives with me. It's, she lives with me every day. That says a little bit more than just they live with me, right?
Does that mean like maybe in the basement?
Like in her bedroom. She's there's nothing wrong with her. She is my mother-in-law, and I love her to death.
Oh, that was absolutely perfect. Well done.
Practice all the time.
Okay. It tells me she's with an earshot. That's a smart move, man.
Best supporting actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's bedridden at the moment.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, that sucks.
We are the primary caregivers.
Okay. So you're doing a lot more than just that. All right. Well, that's
you deserve a burger then.
Yeah, you do. You definitely deserve a hamburger. How about you guys? Favorite place to get a hamburger in the area?
In the area?
I mean, my wife and I swear by Shake Shack.
You guys do swear by Shake Shack.
Still one of the best burgers out there, man.
I mean, I still like getting deluxe at Dick's. Obviously, Loretta's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Northwestern.
Look, man, honestly, like Red Robin is good. Just because all the variety of burgers they have, you can find one that you're really going to enjoy.
Yeah, without question.
Red Robin's good, and I know we talk about it because it's expensive and stuff, but
Five Guys.
Yeah.
I really, look, man, and Five Guys, if you're listening, I love your burgers. I love the fact that you're like, you want some fries? We will give you 800 potatoes worth of French fries. But it gets pricey real quick, man. Real quick. We, family of four. So 4 milkshakes, 4 burgers, 4 orders of fries. I'm like, how is this $90?
Right.
And that's my only hang up on Five Guys is just the cost, but they have outstanding burgers.
I think, honest to God, Ted's right, man. If I'm craving a hamburger, I want to get to Loretta's. That's just the hand-cut fries. The hamburgers are just, the meat quality is so good. However they grill those things,
yeah,
man,
whatever they're doing, they do it right.
It is. I don't know. I have yet to find a better flavored tasting hamburger. There's a lot of places that make good hamburgers.
Right, I was going to say, Loretta's probably is like 1 or 2, but I'm with you. Like, when people are like, where should I go to get a burger? There's a lot of places that have a good cheeseburger.
Places that sell burgers. Mm-hmm. Chances are they're going to
go.
And
I feel like burgers over the years have gotten much better. Like, I feel like it's rare to go to a restaurant anymore, and it's just, you could tell this was a frozen puck 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Oh, the question, favorite place to get a hamburger. This is a little bit of burger on burger crime, so to speak.
Oh.
A tractor trailer hauling 46,000 pounds of beef crashed through a Wendy's in Dauphin County early Friday morning.
How convenient.
It happened at the Wendy's on South Eisenhower Boulevard at 2 a.m. in the morning. Crews on the scene said the tractor trailer drove straight through the restaurant and stopped just short of the Holiday Inn.
Damn.
This happened in Pennsylvania. Lower Swatara police said the driver told them that his glasses fogged up and he couldn't see. He had left Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He was on his way to Washington State with all this beef for hamburgers, police said in a statement. He went straight off the PA 283 West into the Wendy's parking lot, through the Wendy's, drove through the Wendy's, and then stopped short of the Holiday Inn. He suffered facial injuries. He was taken to the Hershey Medical Center.
Of course.
Yes.
He didn't make it very far at all.
The photos show complete total damage to the Wendy's. It is still closed, and police say the crash is under investigation. And all 46,000 pounds of beef that was destined for Washington State was destroyed in the accident.
Boo.
That's
Come on, man.
46,000 pounds of meat.
Damn.
Random.
So he made it, about 7 miles before he crashed?
Yeah. I'm still thinking about burgers. Like Lunchbox Laboratory is pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Red Mill.
Oh,
Ooh,
Red Mill.
and
And great onion rings.
Their burgers are delicious. Their onion rings are worth going just for that.
Anytime we go there, I always get the onion rings. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a big onion ring guy. I don't dislike them, but man.
It's rare that I get onion rings, but like Red Mill, like I would put those onion rings up against any I've ever had.
Well, GQ, the voice of food, they've rated them some of the best onion rings in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
I think about GQ and I think, where do I want to eat?
Yeah. Always, every time.
They said their onion rings are superior, for sure.
Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Josh, welcome to the program. Ran a question. Okay. Whether it was someone you worked with, someone you went to school with, whatever the deal is, who would you say is the strangest person that you have ever met or known?
George Thorogood.
The strangest person that you have ever met or known.
Oh. Gotta think about that one for a second.
Does it have to be bad strange?
No, it doesn't have to
odd.
be. Just, like George Thorogood wasn't bad strange. He was just a lot strange. But then I also had the strange kids growing up. The kid that would eat bees for money, eat
I
grass.
had a buddy who collected scabs. I mean, he wasn't a close friend, but he collected all the scabs.
Ew, man. How big was his collection?
He had them all in the jar.
Oh, my God. I feel ill.
Yeah. And the whole bottom of the jar was molded over on the inside.
God, how long did he do this?
I don't know. I don't know. I just know this. I found out in my adult life that he basically was just driving around my hometown giving college students free rides to wherever they wanted to go.
That sounds like a guy who's destined
So
for that.
he's still got a little oddness about him. I don't think he's a predator or anything like that. I don't think he's mentally capable of that.
Right.
But he's a very nice guy. Like, I don't think he has a mean bone in his body. He's just always not been 100% there.
The guy that collects scabs, yeah.
That is correct. That is correct.
Just his own scabs, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So who is the strangest person you've ever met?
Well, I used to work with him at a pretzel place in the mall. You guys always call it Auntie Annie's, but it was pronounced Auntie Anne's. And this guy would wear short shorts, like cargo short shorts, button-up shirt tucked in with a bow tie, but the button-up was like a T-shirt. So he was giving off some interesting vibes. Hard worker, very interesting, but, he always kind of did some strange stuff like that. It was always, like, prim and proper.
I'm imagining he was great with customers.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy was a home run every single time he
Really?
did customers.
See, I think
sales.
it's not necessarily, it's a peculiar thing if you are a bow tie person. I
agree 100%.
It's not that I don't think anyone can wear a bow tie and be a mean person or a nasty person to someone, but there is the element of, okay.
But you're also wearing a bow tie.
What is it about this person? Because they have a bow tie on.
Especially, like, if you're wearing a tuxedo, we understand this. Even if it's just formal and everyone else is wearing a tie, you wear a bow tie. I can see this, but it's just kind of...
It was kind of something different.
Yeah.
And, I do know he was, like, homeschooled with his brother for his whole life, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's something about the bow tie.
Yeah, the bow tie. It just depends on it just depends on the...
It doesn't mean anything
the
bad. I just kind of, in my mind, I kind of tell myself, just prepare yourself for this person you're about to meet, right? So you go somewhere and there's 20 people, you've met a few. I see the guy with the bow tie, and as they're walking over, I know we're going to shake hands, but I just kind of brace myself mentally, like, this is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be...
I feel like that person generally, too, they're either insane or have accomplished a lot in life.
Yeah. But either way, they are very chatty.
Sometimes it's a work uniform. Every bar, it's like old school in Chicago.
Sure.
Guys have vests on and bow ties and all that stuff. If you went and got a bank loan, maybe the guy's got a bow tie on. You wouldn't think maybe twice about that, even though you would still think it's
that's
to be a little bit odd.
situational. I feel like when you choose to wear a bow tie, and in other words, just kind of normal, social, nothing big situation. Like I said, I haven't met a lot of people wearing a bow tie that I've disliked, but I've not met a lot of people in a bow tie that I also say, hey, man, do you want to grab beers?
Well, it's like that dude I told you a couple weeks ago, right? He's wearing a bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
He's carrying an umbrella. And he's got on, like, that round, like, hat, like guys who talk like this would wear.
Like the derby hat kind of thing?
Yeah, right? And he's got on shorts, but he has on dress shoes and dress socks with the sock, like, holders.
What do I call it? The sock garters, whatever?
Right. So I see him as I'm going into this building. I'm like, that guy's a weirdo. And then I'm in Jimmy John's waiting, and he walks in, and he goes, hello, I'll have a turkey tom, please. So I'm waiting on the side, and I I start giggling, and the dude working there looks up at me. I'm giggling, and I kind of go like, oh, man, dude looks like he's out of like Martha or Mary Poppins or something.
Yeah, right.
Which then, of course, the three of them went, oh, yeah. Yeah, you like at Disney.
That guy's keep it down.
Right, so they're loud. I feel bad. Now it's open season on this weirdo.
Oh, no.
Let me ask you this. Does he have a mustache and beard?
I can't remember, but just look, he already looked weird enough.
Yeah.
But to go, I'll have a turkey tom.
Well, there's a guy that smokes.
It's like he wanted to get beat up. I mean, I'm not even a bully.
Right.
But it's like this guy wants to get beat up.
I can't help but want to beat you up. Well, there's a guy that smokes outside of the building. And, Miles and I are smoking cigarettes. People go down there and they vape. This guy, of course, has like the big curly pipe. Right? Okay?
He looks like Sherlock Holmes.
And when it's cold outside, so wintertime, he'll always rock his trench coat. And he has, the Sherlock Holmes hat. Not quite a bowler, but whatever that kind of plaid thing was that Sherlock Holmes
yeah.
He has the mustache and beard. Basically, it's not even like steampunk. A steampunk, there's some element of cool.
Houndstooth?
Kind of that houndstooth pattern. That's his hat. Has the curly pipe, the mustache and beard, the round glasses, wears a kilt. it's the same kind of thing, but like he's trying so hard, it annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, some people, you go like, dude, that's just who you are. This guy, I'm like, this is BS. You drive me, I want to slap the pipe out of his hand, and I don't know why. But even just the way he puffs it, I'm like, you even puff pretentiously.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how to I haven't felt that way.
Hello!
Right, but when he started talking, it's like, you're begging. You're begging people to be drunk.
Actually, dude, I was at a record store, a vinyl shop, over the weekend, and I hear a guy talking to the woman that works there. Now, I got my back to him, so I'm flipping through vinyl. And it's the same kind of Oakley-dokley thing. It's just like, I am so glad at the selection that you guys have here. There's not a lot of places, right? And I'm just thinking, all right, it's this guy. And he's going on. And the woman working there, you know, she's engaging him because he knew his stuff, but everything is like this. And I came here and I'm looking for blah, blah, blah. Then I hear him talk to his girlfriend. And I told you, baby, this is the album that you're really going to like. When I turned around and finally looked at this guy, he's probably about 6'2", weighed about 320, most of it muscle, and it's a big brother with dreads. And I probably stared at him for 4 seconds.
Jesus.
Not because I'm calling him out. I could not believe
This is amazing.
It would be like if you heard meow, meow, you open the door and there's a St. Bernard. You know, you're just like, this is not the boy. But sure enough, then I couldn't stop staring at him the whole time. This is the album I was looking for.
That dude who lived across the hallway from me in Baltimore was a weirdo.
Oh, dude.
He was
if
strange.
he
I don't
wasn't a
think
predator. No, he's a predator.
Not in a positive way. Right?
Yeah, this guy,
Exactly.
like, there's strange, and then there's strange, like, red flag, danger strange. He was that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason we asked who's the strangest person you ever met, what if I told you that brain worm wasn't the weirdest or grossest thing about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? Check this one out. Back in 2010, on a trip to Korea, Kennedy may have eaten barbecued dog. A picture has surfaced of RFK posing with and pretending to take a bite out of an animal skeleton that's been picked pretty clean. According to Vanity Fair, he sent that picture to a friend, urged them to try it for themselves when they visited Korea.
At least he added that one caveat.
Technically, it's not clear whether the animal is a dog, but they consulted a veterinarian who said it most likely was due to the shape of its ribs.
And I'm a veterinarian. I can look and tell.
Okay, so that might be a little bit strange.
But you go, like, you're in Korea. If you're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Right, because, I mean, that's...
It's
people
cultural.
Yeah. I have no issue with that.
No.
If I was in Sicily, I'd try horse.
Would you eat a person in Borneo? Just try people. Just try a person. You don't have to eat the whole thing.
How is it prepared?
Blackened.
Oh, blackened.
Seasoned. Really good.
Seasoned.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now we get this one over the weekend. It keeps getting weirder. Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said in social media video that he drove a dead bear cub carcass from upstate New York and placed it in New York City Central Park 10 years ago. I don't know why he's sharing these stories. In the video, which was posted to his X account, Kennedy tells actress Roseanne Barr about traveling through New York's Hudson Valley to go hawking and coming across a young bear that had been hit and killed by another driver. He says in the video, he decided to put the dead bear in his car. I pulled over, I picked up the bear, I put him in the back of my van because I'm going to skin the bear, he said. It was in very good condition. I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. He then tells Roseanne he spent the day hawking before driving to New York City for a dinner.
I'm glad that a bear cub that was hit by a car is, quote-unquote, in good shape.
With the bear still in the back of his car. Now, at the end of the dinner, he said he had to go to the airport and he couldn't take the bear back to his home. So he said he broached to friends the idea of taking the bear to Central Park and making it appear as if a biker had hit the bear.
Like a bicycle bike?
I have an old bike in my car that somebody had asked me to get rid of. And I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. Everyone thought that's a great idea. So we did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or whatever. Kennedy said the bear discovery appeared on the front page of every paper, drawing wide media coverage and prompting investigators from law enforcement, which he said worried him because he'd left behind fingerprints. Kennedy suggested he was not blamed for the incident at the time. Luckily, the story died down after a while and stayed dead for a decade. New Yorker somehow found out about it, and they're going to do a big article on me, so they asked me, the fact checkers did. He said the upcoming story would portray him in a negative light. You know, it's going to be a bad story, he said while laughing. That is an unusual story.
I mean, I hear the story. I hear his explanation. I don't know if that's the move that I would have made. I don't think I'd have made any of the decisions that he made.
No.
That is very strange to take a dead bear cub and put it in another place.
Well, he was going to cut it up for meat, but then he makes the point I had to go to the airport to get home. I'm like, so when did you plan on dressing this thing to get meat if on the same day you're flying back to wherever the hell, Massachusetts, I suspect.
I would guess so.
I just not in the habit of picking up dead animals, period.
Off the side of the road.
Well, there's that too. There's that too.
Call me old school.
Hello, Gary. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, my brother.
Hola.
Gary, welcome to the program. Oh, nice, man. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. All right, Gary, let's go with this question right here. What would you say is maybe one of the more unique or odd jobs that you have had in your lifetime? Based on what you're tasked at doing or hours or whatever, what was a unique or odd job that you've had?
I've had a couple really weird ones. I've done lagging on the boiler room of the USS Ranger when it was in port and steamed up. I think my best weird job was I used to raise, I'm retired from the Oregon Fish and Wildlife, and I raised steelhead and salmon.
You did?
Yes, I did, sir, for 6 years.
What is the process of doing that?
Right.
Okay, so it's pretty cool. You got a life in the cold water, so you go in and you actually manually spawn and remove the eggs from the female salmons, whichever species they might be. Then you take their male counterparts and you milk them into the egg bucket.
How do you milk a male salmon?
You hold it up, you pick it up with your left hand on its tail, and you take your right hand and you grab it by the throat just above where the gills are, and you squeeze downwards and spew out the milk.
So they're into autoerotic asphyxiation is what Mike and I are taking
looking
from
at you
this.
with loving eyes.
Pretty much they get nailed, smacked in the head, and then they get cut to bleed, and then we spawn them.
Did you, I don't know if it was Oregon or not. You have to read the story probably a few months back where a truck carrying salmon from a hatchery tipped over. I don't know if it was the Umpqua River or where it was, but either way, all the fish ended up spilling off the side of the road into the river below.
Yeah.
And like out of the 40,000 out of the 40,000 fish.
I knew the driver.
Okay. But most of them lived.
To my hatchery. It's probably some of the hatchery fish that
I think that's what it was, actually.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is nuts.
The reason we asked what's the most unique or odd job you've ever had. School starts in a month. The kids are ready. The building is clean. Just one problem on Blanc Island. The island's 4-student school doesn't have a teacher. They might not be able to get one, leaving the future of about the 90-year-old schoolhouse in doubt. The district is in Michigan, and across the county, they've struggled to find and retain teachers in recent years. The problem is far more acute on Bois Blanc Island in Lake Huron. Applicants not only have to find affordable and weatherproof housing, they have to endure harsh winters in which you can only leave in the winter by plane. I tell everybody we are in remote Alaska without the mountains. A grandparent and teacher's aide who has worked there for a number of years and lived there said she needs someone to educate her 11-year-old grandson. The kids are in ages between 4 and 17 years old.
Damn, man.
So the teacher has to be schooled on various levels of curriculum. That's where we're here. A lot of people don't understand that we're not like Mackinac Island. Our ferries don't run 3/4 of the year all year round. Basically, what they do is this. Year-round residents stock up on groceries before the ferry stops. Then they coordinate with each other to buy plane tickets, and they take their turn buying plane tickets.
Jesus.
The families do. Then they fly to a place that has a grocery store, and they buy everything for the entire town, stock it up, get back on the plane, and then they fly back to the town.
And they can't find someone to fill that position.
Yeah. Locals praise the school's last teacher who left for personal reasons and say there are many challenges in finding a replacement. The woman who left was simply, quote, just looking for a man. Oh, damn. All right. Your guess is as good as mine. Coming up, the categories of smartest cities in the United States and the Summer Olympics. And we've got your emails coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house and owning it. Having an advocate who can help you navigate negotiations, timelines, inspections, and more can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association. It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragechek.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow, today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All right, a new survey says these are the smartest cities in the United States. One of the categories coming up with your guess is as good as mine, along with the most viewed Summer Olympic sports.
All right.
But first, time for a few emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com. All right, jump right to the birthdays. All the Macholos, please give my little man Sean some birthday love for his 14th trip around the sun. How about a few farts? Coach Ted giving him some advice about going into his high school freshman year and making the basketball team. And if there's time, a couple dad jokes from Miles. Thanks, guys. You rock. That from Elliot.
God. That's so bad.
I'll never get used to that.
All right, Sean, first of all, let's eat something normal for dinner before these basketball tryouts. Your stomach sounds like that, you're going to be a world of hurt, son. All right, second of all, I don't know your skill level, so I don't know how good you are. Maybe you got a good jump shot. Maybe you could pass the ball. The main thing is this. Going into high school is a different ball game. A lot more kids. Competition's going to be tougher. So let's lock down our defense, all right? If you could play within a system, you might have a great jumper. But if you could play within that coach's system and some lockdown defense, tell you what, son, we got a spot for you on this team.
Okay. All right, Sean, here's one for when you're older. You'll get it better. I told my wife she should stop embracing her mistakes, or she should at least start embracing her mistakes.
Start embracing her mistakes.
She filed for divorce?
No, she hugged me. Oh, damn it. I told my son that with laughter, the L comes first.
With laughter, the L.
The rest comes after. Why shouldn't you tell your secrets in a cornfield? Why should you not tell your secrets in a cornfield?
Because there's too many ears.
There's too many ears.
Too many ears. Good call, Mike.
And what do you call a group of whales in a band? A group of whales in a band.
An orchestra?
Bingo.
Well played, Mr. Hall.
Bingo. 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4.
He's on it.
That's right. I want to wish my boy Christopher a very happy 25th birthday. You're a great son, hard worker. Can he get an uh-oh look out with a long fart? And Miles' advice on auto body repair. Thank you, guys, and rock on. That from Chris.
Uh-oh, look out.
Auto body repair. Well, if you're not working in an auto body shop, the best thing is not to wreck your car.
Yeah.
If you are, good news, you don't have to bang out any metal anymore because the entire damn front of a car is all plastic anyway. You just replace the parts, bend the frame back. Bacholo's happy 37th trip around the sun to Eric. He's been working so hard to make a good life for us in our little zoo. I'm grateful to have him in my life and love him to the moon and back. How about some green beans and you guys talking all over yourselves about your favorite golf cart excursion? Thanks, guys. Love your show and stay beautiful. That from Shannon.
Green bean. What? Green bean. Okay. Green bean. I would say, man, as far as the golf cart excursion goes, it was me, Ted Smith, and Christy Playboy, big-breasted Playboy.
Totally couldn't make it. Didn't listen.
Yes,
Flipped it over.
let's throw him under the bus right now. He was right. I was wrong. Her boob saved her.
You know, I will say in your defense, and Miles, you can attest to this. I think people normally playing golf are okay. But you get in those tournaments, man, people lose their S.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I played in one. I was only like 19, so I think I had like 2 or 3 beers, but I couldn't get drunk.
Yeah.
I remember my brother's friend showing back up to the clubhouse, and the cart is all effed up. They rolled it, flipped it. Just like, Jesus.
That's an expensive mistake. Guys, it's my wife's Angie's 47th trip around the sun. Was hoping you could wish her a happy birthday with a fish sandwich and Leroy Jenkins and maybe some dirty Germans on what to do for the birthday. That from her loving husband. P.S. Thrill, don't know if you remember, but you did our wedding. We're 14 years strong. Thanks, that from Guy.
I have a fish sandwich.
I do remember.
Let's do this.
Yeah, look, I married you 14 years ago, and whatever you did to consummate that tonight, since everyone was getting themselves in what we'll call a good place, try to repeat that.
Yeah, see, as a thing as Angie, like, I won't say what you did, but she'll always be on that list.
Hey guys, today is my husband Kelly's 49th birthday. Our family's longtime listeners, and my daughter especially loves the birthday shout-outs. So his daughter requests the fish sandwich montage. His wife, the best thing that ever happened to him, wants your penis is too small, and Coach Ted to tell him what to expect for his last year of his 40s. Thanks, guys. That from Megan, Brownin, and George.
Can I get
a fillet of fish sandwich?
So you know I have a fish sandwich. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? Put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Or a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon, and at night.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich? Though you don't want a fish sandwich?
What to expect in the last year of your 40s? Pretty simple. Sex. Lots of it. Wife's going to be giving it up. All access pass. Yeah. Whatever you've been wanting to do it. You want to put it there? Put it there. So yeah, and that goes for both things, all right? Spray it on the wall. Nasty. Dirty. You're going to need a wet mop.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's my roommate's 60th birthday. Wonder if that makes her a double dirty 30. As a request, how about the dirty Germans talking about drums and some, maybe a fart. I'll rock on, bitches. That from Isaiah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, this is quite easy. If you like to play the drums, I also, too, like to beat the skins.
Yeah, we go old school. Just use our hands.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. So the bongo drums. So's all your boobs.
Hi, guys. Here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Think about what's going to contest on the line for your guess is as good as mine now. 206-803-ROCK. A couple extra emails here. In the meantime, if you haven't heard, one of my favorite bars in the Fremont area, Petoskey's, now has the men's room beer brats from Uli's Famous Sausage on the menu.
Nice.
Not only that, but they got the men's room IPA from Black Raven on draft. Now, they have a traditional beer brat with grilled onions, kraut, deli spice brown mustard on a soft French roll. Also, the Seattle style with a men's room beer brat, cream cheese, grilled onions, and Mama's Little hot cherry peppers. Okay. If you want those as well. More locations, guys. Daffodil Bowl in Puyallup. has your beer.
yeah.
The owner, Brad, is a great dude. Sincerely, that from the real James P. Sullivan. Have you guys been to Daffodil Bowl?
I have not, but I saw the picture today. I'm like, all right.
Man, I need
Sounds lovely.
Yeah,
Daffodil Bowl.
What else, guys? Ola, the Hubster, Navy Pete, found men's room IPA at the Marysville NEX, the Naval Exchange. Down
nice.
the Holabicholas. Love, Jess, the Chest. Who says we'll catch you at the next men's room world tour stop?
Excellent.
What else do we have here? Men's room IPA. Threw away the sheet that had the locations. It's
okay.
That's not going to help us at all.
It's not. Okay, more locations coming tomorrow, including all the places at T-Mobile Park. We got a hell of a deal there, man. They put the beer in cans in a number of locations. Also, for the first time ever, no confirmation on this, but I have seen the men's room IPA from Black Raven Brewing, and I believe to be either a 20 or a 22-ounce can. So they now have big cans of the beer
I thought it was
available.
19.
It's 19
Is it
point
19?
something.
Is that what it is?
Either way, it's bigger than the traditional 12-ounce.
Correct. It's a big-ass can of our beer. So we're happy to have that, too. And the more locations we find out that they carry at, we will spread the word.
And don't be scared to hold something big.
Time for a little Your Guess is as good as mine. It's an easy game to play. We get a contestant in line. You pick from one of two categories and try to get as many right before 3 strikes and you're out, Steve. Who is ready to play Your Guess is as good as mine?
Hello, Brad. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Brad, welcome to the program. Your Guess is as good as mine. Okay, our first category. Hot off the press, we have the 10 smartest cities in the United States. They have a bunch of indicators. Some of them include connectivity, infrastructure, sustainability. The tech job market seems to be very important. So they used a bunch of these metrics to determine the overall scores for each city. So a lot of the cities on here have kind of more of a tech hub feel to them.
Yeah.
And employ a lot more, so to speak, intelligent employers than the average job. So we have the top 10 smartest cities. Then, as we have our last week for the Summer Olympics, we have the 10 most watched Summer Olympic sports. So, Brad, do you want to go sports or smarts here?
Let's go sports.
You want to go sports? Okay, Brad.
Yeah.
They say the best part about any Summer Olympics is the events that occur at the perfect time of the calendar year. No meaningful football games on television. Major League Baseball pennant races not really heated up. The basketball's not happening. The hockey's not happening. But every summer in 4 years, we get 2 weeks of sports we largely ignore, other than for 17 days every 4 years. So what we have for you is the top 10 Olympic sports to watch. Brad, you know how the game is played. Try to get as many right in said category before 3 strikes and you're out.
Yep.
Okay, where do you want to start?
Oh, shoot. Let's go gymnastics.
Gymnastics is number 1. Olympic gymnasts are real-life superheroes, so they say. They fly through the air with the greatest of ease, and we like to watch them during the Olympics. That is number 1. It also doesn't hurt that female American gymnasts are often the biggest stars of any Olympics period.
That has definitely proven to be the case this year.
Okay, Brad, 1 for 1.
Basketball.
Basketball. That seems fairly logical because it is. Number 6, men's basketball. The top heel destroys underdogs. That heel sometimes gloats or shows off during matches. The heel every year at the Summer Olympics is Team United States.
Of course.
And that's why a lot of players and
everyone's
people like to
gunning
watch
for
us.
us.
But that doesn't mean that Australia, Croatia, Brazil, and Argentina, Spain, and France aren't that bad, because multiple NBA players are on their rosters as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like the dream team.
No, it's much different now.
Yeah. Okay, you're 2 for 2, Brad. Men's basketball and gymnastics, both correct.
Is swimming and diving 2 different things, or?
Yes, they are 2 different things. Correct.
Let's go diving.
No diving in the top 10.
Swimming.
Yeah.
I definitely like watching diving.
I do too. Swimming is number 3. Some of the most successful American Olympians of all time: Mark Spitz, Michael Phelps. They are all big-time names.
Ryan Lochte.
Yep.
Ryan Lochte. What's the chick's name right now?
Katie
Ledecky.
Yeah, Ledecky. She's cleaning
Lily
up
King.
right now.
She's a Maryland person.
Is she?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Brad, you got 3 out of the 10 and 1 strike against you.
I would think track and field's got to be in there.
Yeah, that's one. There you go, track.
Track is number 2. Track and field events at the Olympics, they say, are perfect in their simplicity. One man or woman runs faster than all the other options. Not only that, no other race awards the winner with the label of the fastest man on earth. Usain Bolt is a superstar around the world, all because he covered 100 meters faster than anyone else before him.
Yeah. Everybody had a lot of personality to go along with.
Yes, he did. So far, Brad, you're right on gymnastics being number 1 as far as the most viewed Olympic sport. Track is 2. Swimming, you got at number 3. And men's basketball at number 6. What is your next guess?
Ooh, what about like women's beach volleyball or something?
How about, let's go with beach volleyball.
I'll give it to you. It's 7 is team volleyball. Team volleyball, the majority of the Olympics summarized in one sport. You get the hang of volleyball rules and regulations in time, however, and you find yourself actively rooting for your country during the competition.
This is true.
We'll just
But
give
that
you
is
volleyball
separate
in
from
beach
volleyball.
It is, but I'm going to give it to him because it's still volleyball whether you play it on the same
Yeah,
field
fair
in
enough.
my world, except for the clothing. All right, Brad, what are you thinking?
How about cycling?
Cycling, not on the list. Not on the list either, but I feel like a lot of people watched Olympic golf over the weekend who probably don't watch the sport of golf.
Right, because of who was there.
Just based on the fact that it was an Olympic sport.
Text line, someone saying boxing or soccer. I don't know if people still get hyped for boxing. I do.
I do.
End up boring because it's just like a sparring session.
It's definitely softened up over the years. When I was growing up, I mean, you went in there, you saw the headgear, but they were trying to kill each other.
Brad got volleyball right at 7, men's basketball right at 6, number 3 swimming, number 2 track, and number 1 gymnastics. You guys want to try your hand at the rest of the remaining 10 spots?
Handball.
Handball, believe it or not, is number 10.
All right.
Are you an American who enjoys rooting for the home team? Handball is not for you if that's the case, they say. The United States has never medaled in this event. The U.S. didn't even qualify for handball in the 2016 Summer Olympics. However, around the world and watching, people love handball.
Clearly. Here's a good one. People saying table tennis / ping pong.
Table tennis is number 8 on the list. That is correct.
And all you can think is, I hope I never play that person at a bar.
Yeah, people watch and say, I could do that.
I would also add with handball, if you have beach volleyball, they should do that with handball, like the way we grew up playing it, you know? Where like 2 dudes using your hand.
Oh, yeah.
What about fencing, Miles?
Fencing?
Fencing, not a bad guess. Not on the list.
Don't they call it foil?
That's your sword.
That's your
Vegas,
saber.
Oh, all right.
And then what was the other one that I was thinking?
How about horse jumping?
Horse jumping, not on the list.
Human jumping.
Part of track and field.
All right.
Here's rowing.
Rowing.
Not
on the list.
How else do they want? Archery and or shooting? I'm pulling this off the text
Like
list.
skeet
This is
shooting?
not me.
Nope.
No.
Jeez.
Not in the 10 most viewed. People watch this.
Most viewed.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what the hell else is going on during the Summer Olympics.
I had something that I forgot it.
Combat sports?
Combat sports are on the list at number 3. Other than boxing, wrestling, taekwondo, and judo
Okay.
come in at number 9 on the list of the most watched Olympic sports in the summertime.
How about water polo?
Water polo, number 5.
All right.
Quintessential Olympic sport. 99% of the people reading the sentence watch water polo only during the Olympics.
That is a very true statement.
Now
Tennis.
Tennis, not on the list.
Badminton.
Badminton, not on the list, but table tennis is.
Okay.
And handball, not that they're remotely close to being the same. One here is a huge sport in the United States based on the success of the team. Every 4 years, some of the biggest women's stars have come out of this sport.
Tennis.
Not tennis.
We already said gymnastics.
Already got gymnastics.
We got swimming.
Swimming.
Basketball?
Is there a male and female team, or is it
There
just
is, but
women?
no one cares about the men's sport for whatever reason in the Olympics as much as the women's in the United States.
Rugby?
Not rugby.
Not a bad call, Ted.
No.
Oh, women's soccer.
Women's
Gotta
soccer.
be women's soccer. Yeah.
Olympic men's soccer tournament is a letdown every 4 years. The women, however, are pretty successful here in the United States.
I think you could just stick with men's U.S. national team is a disappointment.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So here are the 10 most Olympic watch sports for Summer Olympics. Number 10, handball. Number 9, wrestling, taekwondo, and judo. 8 is table tennis. 7 team volleyball, men's basketball number 6, water polo 5, 4 women's soccer, swimming is 3, 2 is track, and number 1, that would be gymnastics. All right, coming up, we'll drink a toast with the shot of the day. You are listening to the Men's Room.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids to a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
These deals are working hard to save you money. From August 28th through September 3rd, save 15% off Balin stock tanks, $200 off Black Diamond log splitters, and find big discounts on shoes for the family.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Make the most of your Labor Day weekend with Coastal.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up in just minutes, we will drink a toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. Gold miners in Russia found the carcass of a 14,000-year-old woolly rhino.
Did you see the picture of it?
I did.
It's almost perfectly intact.
Yes.
With the exception of the hair. But, like, there's no mistake. You don't need...
Woolly rhino.
Woolly rhino.
Yeah, picture a woolly mammoth. Well, picture a rhino, make it woolly. Same difference, right?
Right.
But, like, there's no mistake what it is. Like, clearly they dug it up and said, dude, that's a woolly rhino.
Check this thing out.
We don't need to call paleontologists. Like, we know what it is.
Did we know of the woolly rhino before this was found?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I never heard of it.
Right.
Really?
Same.
Woolly
It's only been the mammoth.
Yeah.
Well, the mammoth got all the big stuff, but I want to say part of it, too. They have more fossils of the woolly mammoth.
Sure.
And it's always been a thing. Mastodons, the woolly mammoth, and all this. And you heard about saber-toothed tiger, and they were kind of done talking.
Okay.
But you got to think, like, during the Ice Age, when the woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tiger, most of the animals looked a little different.
Well,
Yeah,
you
there
do
was a
nerd
lot-
out about this stuff, don't you?
I absolutely do.
I don't think that's nerdy stuff.
That means you knew about it, too, didn't you?
I did. I was about to make fun of them for not knowing it, and Mike called you a nerd.
Yeah. I do nerd out on that stuff.
Maybe
but-
you and Miles just need to educate yourself with something other than
dummies.
Stupid stuff you guys look at.
So, like the mammoth, is the woolly rhino bigger than your average rhino?
I believe so. I believe
Okay.
so.
It's freaking huge.
It's massive, man.
Actually, I somehow a woolly rhino is scarier than a regular rhino.
Horns bigger.
But the problem is the artist's depiction of it, it looks silly.
Yeah.
So it would kill you, gore you, stomp you. I'm sure it has the same horrible attitude as rhinos do now.
Like a big
but-
ox or something?
Jeez.
No, it looks like a rhino wearing the lion costume from Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
I mean, that's the best way to describe it, right?
Right.
It kind of had a mane. I assume that's the male they're showing, but kind of had a mane and all that.
Miles, look at this
Here,
thing.
flip that thing around.
Look at this woolly rhino here. That is so clearly a rhino there.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yep.
And then I did find
The artist, there you go.
the woolly rhino.
That is a big, big ass.
Okay.
I mean, just basically what we can think about.
That's what they used to call me when I went to our place.
The woolly rhino.
Woolly rhino.
He's back.
His horn is at attention.
Oh, he's ready to strike. He's charging. Oh, Lord. Science shows that it really does hurt people to think.
I'm sorry, what now?
Science really does show that it hurts people to think.
How does it hurt to think when you can't not think? You can't not.
I think when you actively think, when you actually drive your brain into searching the recesses and libraries of your brain
to get an answer that you're desperately looking for, it hurts.
Right. Well, when you think about it, what was the name of that guy?
Okay, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
And you're right. Everyone else will say, and everyone tilts their head back, rolls their eyes up.
And I don't, the tilting the head back and the rolling the eyes up, I get that is kind of reflexive muscles pulling, as you're looking at different spots in your brain, it kind of pulls your eyes that way. That's why they tell you that.
Well, they said almost everybody does it.
Well, and that's how one of the ways that people can tell if you're lying or not is that you look one way when you're checking memory, and the other way when you're creating
a situation, right?
So I can understand that, but I still don't.
That's why it pays to be cross-eyed.
That's right.
Damn it! I can't tell, man.
Hook him up. But I don't get why we do that pain strained.
You're right. It's like a release. It's like stubbing your toe, and you audibly have a release.
Right. Maybe it's just because we've gotten so used to not having dead air. Now, I'm not making that reference here for us radio folk, but everybody, they don't like kind of having that dead spot in the conversation to where we just fill it with a noise.
That would explain a lot of the ums and
It would.
as you try to form the rest of your sentence.
Right. We do it in our average everyday conversation.
Everybody.
Those word fillers that when we are thinking of the right thing to say,
That's why Big Dummy, it's always intriguing. Not every caller does it on Big Dummy, but you'll ask a question, and they've heard the answer. They might not recall the answer, but it's never dead silent. It's always,
or repeating the question.
Yeah, that's the other.
Where were you tonight? Where was I tonight?
That does give you a split second more time, doesn't it?
I was out with friends.
It's like the Snickers commercial.
Yeah. Probably really was. Just
you don't want to know what I did with
who were you out with? I'm not going to throw my friends under the bus.
I don't think the wife's caught on to that. She can catch me lying just because I do that very thing, Miles. I will repeat the question. That is the first sign I'm lying.
When's the last time you brushed your teeth?
When was the last time I brushed my teeth? I brushed my teeth?
My kids. When's the last time I brushed?
This morning.
Last night, maybe? No, you don't have a toothbrush here. I wouldn't look.
Right.
Yeah, they're just guessing. No, she just did with her finger, Miles. The average person forgets 3 essential items at home when leaving for vacation.
It's okay.
I'm getting better about that. I pack pretty light and very efficiently, and I packed the night before. So I do all the things that I know I should do, because if not, if I have to pack in the morning, it's a disaster of me not getting it all there in place.
I feel you.
But what are all the things you think? Like, to me, say we're going away for 7 days for Delaware coming up. We leave Friday night. So the first thing I do is there's a washer and dryer where we're at. So I'm kind of 7 pairs of underwear, 7 shirts, 7 pairs of shorts, covered. I'm done. If I need
you have
to buy
swimming
clothes,
trunks?
I do. Got the swimming trunks.
Like those are the kind of things.
I got my toiletry bag. I got a phone charger. I'm kind of done.
Right.
I might forget a book, but it's not an essential.
Sure.
Right. But I'm very good about this.
Pack
Is
the
what I
essentials
need,
and then go from there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ted, what day is it?
Monday.
International Traffic Light Day. You're
International
right.
Traffic
It's
Light
about
Day.
time they get the recognition they deserve, because we love them so much.
Dad, you know what? I know that you're being facetious, and that's kind of where I'm going with that.
No,
is that
I'm not, Mike. In fact, I want to, just take this quick moment to say, City of Seattle, whoever your civil engineers are, I love how difficult you make it to get out of downtown by the timing of the lights.
Yeah.
It is brilliant, and it is unlike any other major city in the United States.
Get to see this beautiful city all over the place. But you know what, traffic?
I was say I'm also on team all walk for the crosswalk.
Yeah.
Yes. Jesus.
Traffic lights, however, are an annoying thing that you face while driving. You know what else is annoying? Bad drivers, and in fact, there's some telltale signs.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
The 10 most annoying things bad drivers do. What is it with Washington drivers? Are you so afraid to communicate in any way, shape, or form from walking down the street and someone offers you a friendly hello, and you keep your head down because you're afraid of being accosted, or worse, being nice, to this one that just burns me? If I see you are trying to get into my lane and your turn signal is on, chances are I'm going to wave you in because I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to follow you home and murder you. So do me a favor and wave back as a sign of thanks, you timid little field mice.
We don't know for sure if you're not going to follow him home and kill him.
That sounds like a dude that's ready to commit murder.
I was going to say, that sounds like a killer.
So these are the 10 most annoying things that bad drivers do. Bottom of the list, they say inconsistent driving. You ever been behind that guy that doesn't know if he's going to go too slow or if he's going to go with the speed of traffic?
Correct. Yeah. And some people just can't stay in the lane. I'm thoroughly convinced that Aurora Bridge right now is a death trap because people cannot stay in a 6-lane situation.
That's the worst bridge to be in.
Which probably should be a 4-lane situation.
Number 9 on the list, Miles constantly switching lanes.
Well, or just not, but you're not switching. You're just, you can't stay on your own. Yeah.
Right.
It's like,
oh, sure.
You know,
if you
on
switch
the line,
lanes, you're in a hurry to get somewhere. I understand that.
If you hear to-dum, 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 you're on the strip, dude.
Right.
Get your car back in the middle of the lane.
The one that hits that divot there off the shoulder.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
If you can drive on Aurora, don't.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, if you can't stay in the lane, don't do it.
Throwing trash out the window.
Jesus.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen a whole lot of examples of that.
I don't see it here. On the East Coast, I'm sure it's not as bad now as it was 20 years ago when I was there, but it was like in Baltimore, the dumpster was whatever was outside of your car window.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, like a bucket of chicken bones would get dumped at the stoplight. I mean, seriously, throw a dirty diaper out, and you're like, are you being serious right now, man?
Do you guys consider tossing compostables out of the car a bad thing?
Yes.
So like an apple core, like a banana peel.
So I never something like that. That wouldn't kill. It seems a little rude, but it's not the end of the world.
I never thought it was a big deal until I went to a rehabilitation center for vultures, like eagles. And stuff.
Yeah, out there in Montana.
Correct.
Thank you for qualifying that. I'm like, a what for who? But yeah,
Montana Wild Wings. But I found out that a lot of these big birds get hit because they stop in highways to pick up the compostables. So that's what I stopped doing that.
Well, that's why, my buddy aims for the ditch that's got all the plant life over there.
I mean, if you want to kill big birds, just say it, Mike.
Well, honestly,
I don't believe you have a buddy. I think I'm looking at it.
If I throw an apple core out the window, I don't do that, but is that littering?
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Personally, I haven't given my buddy grief for it. Because I figured
I don't do
he's throwing it into the trees off to the side over there. It's going to break down with the rest of nature.
I never like looking at a banana peel on the side of the road and go, or on the sidewalk and go, oh, that dumbass. I just go, oh, banana peel.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
It's going to turn back into dirt.
It's not a wrapper.
Yeah.
That's when I pick it up.
It's going to break down. It's not
It's not a
impacting
wrapper.
the environment.
That's why I stopped throwing Ludacris out of the car.
Back to the 10 most annoying things that bad drivers do. People who don't move over to the side of the road when emergency vehicles are going by.
Yeah, come on, man.
That one still amazes me.
Yeah.
It happened earlier this weekend. Because there's a guy that just won't get the hell out of the way. Like, I get it. I understand that some people, their reaction is to freeze. Not for these guys.
Yeah, move.
Well, I told you, Mike, when we were in Germany, there was a couple instances we were downtown where emergency vehicles were coming through. You heard them. You saw them. You knew there was a sense of urgency, whether it was a police officer, an ambulance, fire truck, whatever. In Seattle, you have to figure out the state of the emergency based on the siren. And that's the honest to God truth. It's not woo, 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 and lights. And I mean, you get the hell over here. It's
like, what does that mean?
Like, are you really in a hurry, fireman? If you're like, woo, 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 I'd be like, I'd be like, I'm out of your way, but
I mean,
like I'm hungry.
I assume if I hear the siren.
Come on. What does that mean? How am I supposed to interpret that? You don't sound like you're in a hurry.
Some honorable mentions here: driving with high beams on.
Yeah. I don't think people do that intentionally.
Most people don't know.
Yeah.
What is the signal to tell somebody they're doing that?
You flash their high.
You just flash yours.
Or behind you can maybe brake check. You can.
Because the guy behind me, he was doing it, but then I was like, well, if I get behind him and flash him, is he just going to speed up?
Oh yeah. Poorly secured load.
Yes.
Yeah. That causes many problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Tailgating.
Yeah.
Texting while driving in at number 2.
Yes. Jesus.
And it's just always at the worst of times.
And you're not that important. You just are not.
How many times that I have missed a light because we're at the turn light and somebody's on their doggone phone, it turns green, and then I wait, the courtesy minute just to get them to look up. I eventually do honk, then they look up and go as the light's turning yellow. Like, you jackass.
That pisses me off.
And then the number 1 most annoying thing that bad drivers do, we always complain about it, not using that bright little thing off to the sides called the turn signal.
Just use it, man.
the slamming on the brakes and then the turn signal. Like, even if you don't know exactly where to turn, like that's my excuse for why you're jamming on your brakes and then hitting the turn signal. Put your signal on when you think somewhere in here, not quite sure, I need to turn. At least now I know.
No, right. We'll make
you're
a concession.
eventually going to
I had
turn.
a car on the way in here today on 5th. Driving along, we're going about 25 miles an hour downtown. He puts on his brakes. He stops. He does not signal. There's no emergency flashers. He stops. He lets someone out of the passenger side door of the car. He gets out. He gets in the trunk. He gets their luggage out. He gives them their luggage. I get it. But, dude, pull over.
Right.
Don't stop in the middle of the frickin' street. Like, it's and then there's like 6 cars behind me. Like, what is going on in this lane?
Right.
And he's just up there, do.
Take your time.
I'm just like, where in the hell are you from?
Surveillance footage caught a burglar leaving a very honest note behind, Miles, and I'll tell you what that note said at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. Have we made it to drinking time?
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
If the last few years have taught us anything, it's that human connection means the world. By connecting with one another, we know we're not alone. By connecting, we feel what others feel. We breathe better, laugh easier, and feel healthier. At Regents, connection is at the heart of everything we do. It inspires our commitment to our communities and to you. Here, health isn't just a you thing, it's a we thing. Regents Blue Shield. Together we health.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
These deals are working hard to save you money. From August 28th through September 3rd, save 15% off Balin stock tanks, $200 off Black Diamond log splitters, and find big discounts on shoes for the family.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Make the most of your Labor Day weekend with Coastal.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve throw a hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast an anonymous wedding at Kirkstall Abbey in Leeds, England. All right, so we don't know who the couple was. We don't know who the guests were. But what we do know is that people like to create all these creative and fancy things when it comes to planning their nuptials. But I'm a very big fan and a very big believer of just keep it simple. All right. So we have a sound bite of an owl hitting a window. And that's probably right. All right. We played that thing a million times. In case you're not familiar, basically the clip comes from a different wedding where the bride and groom, they agreed to have the owl be the ring bearer. But as soon as it was released inside of the church, the owl bangs hard to its right to the window because it wants to get the hell out of there. But as owls are prone to do, does not know what glass is. So basically it slams into the window and plumps to the floor unconscious. That is what that sound is. Well, now we fast forward to today's honorees. They, too, chose an owl to be their ring bearer. Now, unlike the previous couple, their wedding was outdoors. So instead of crashing into the window, this owl disappeared to the top of the abbey as they were getting married. And it stayed there for the next 7 hours. Just keep that in mind. This was at 1 p.m. that they're going to exchange the rings, but the owl, being a bird, flew to the top of the building, and for 7 hours. Too bad Scott Hansen wasn't there. An owl will be back in 7 hours before they can get the rings.
Double octa owl.
There was a professional trainer there, and he's trying to lure the thing down. It didn't work. I was like, I'm cool. I am up here. 7 hours freaking later, the bird came down. I don't even know if the bride and groom were still at the wedding at that point, but they did manage to get the rings back to the good news.
Miles, what's the surefire way to get an owl to come out of the tree? You're right. It's a Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, every time. Okay. Every time. Thank you, Ted.
Yeah, no problem.
So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat. To party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Steve throw a hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Today, you three gentlemen will be playing against one another. And for that reason, I'm going to give you guys a choice of one of 4 categories. I'm going to give you mood. So we have the wonderful world of drugs. We have hit me with your best shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon. Animalize this, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally, autoerotica, where you guess... Oh. Yeah, that's right.
Let's go there. We haven't been there in a while.
You guess the vehicle involved in the crime. Here is your story. We go to Polk County, where deputies had no trouble keeping up with a Walmart thief who tried to get away with several stolen items. One Troyson Raymond. He's now facing several charges, including felony petty theft, grand theft, and unlawful possession, of a vehicle. This was after the incident that came to a slow halt in front of a Dunkin' Donuts. They say deputies pursued Troy as he attempted to get away in a vehicle. Troy hit speeds of 2 miles an hour before deputies caught up with him. Not exactly a high-speed chase. Quick side note, the average human being walks 3 miles an hour. He would have been better simply walking away from the cops. Anyway, upon making contact with Raymond, deputies found several packages of items stolen from a nearby Walmart, including jewelry and other handheld game systems.
Polk County, Florida, right?
Polk County, Florida, yes. Okay. And the stolen items totaled $167. Now, the sheriff's office said Raymond has a couple of prior convictions for petty theft, hence the felony charge tacked on after this incident. And he remains in custody in lieu of $13,000 bond. The question is, what was Raymond's dumbass choice of a getaway vehicle? Was it an electric scooter? Was it a shopping cart? Was it a wheelchair, or was it a skateboard? So electric scooter, shopping cart, wheelchair, or skateboard. What vehicle did he use to get up to 2 whole miles per hour?
What's the last one?
Skateboard.
I'm going to go using one of those little electric shopping carts, the kind they probably have at Walmart. I don't know how fast they go, but...
I think he's already a bad person, so he stole a wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
What kind of people will steal a wheelchair?
I feel like the scooter gets up to speeds faster than 2, but I believe that this guy thought that he could skateboard better than he actually could. I'm going to go skateboard.
Okay. What was his getaway vehicle there that didn't work? An electric scooter, a shopping cart, a wheelchair, or a skateboard? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Customers at Fred Meyer, part of the Kroger family, will see lower prices and more choices across the Pacific Northwest by Kroger and Albertsons coming together. We know having more access to the fresh, affordable food you love is important. That's why we're dedicating $500 million to bring prices down, so you can stretch your budget even further. Visit KrogerAlbertsons.com to learn more about all we're doing to continue to lower prices. That's KrogerAlbertsons.com.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories autoerotica. On profile this as we head down to Florida, where deputies caught a Walmart thief after his slow speed getaway. He was going 2 miles an hour with his $170-some worth of merchandise. Question is, did he try to escape on an electric scooter, a shopping cart, a wheelchair, or on a skateboard?
D-Ted Smith, we start with you. You went with wheelchair, even said what kind of person steals a wheelchair.
Correct.
Then somebody hit us back on text and said, what kind of person trips a blind man on a bus?
Hey!
You know, probably one and the same. Let's see.
If you found a random wheelchair with your buddy, so you could just take it.
Well, for sure. Mike, you went with the old skateboard, thought he could skateboard better than he actually could. It was not the skateboard. And Miles, you went with the old shopping cart.
It's right there in the store, right?
No! He went with the electric, one of the sit-down electric scooters.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 2 miles per hour. Again, the average human walks 3 miles an hour.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with T.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Obviously, with the Olympics going on, there's been some exciting stuff and some things that just mistakes happen. First, we'll start with yesterday's men 100 meters. I did not watch it live. I was on the road most of the day, so I was telling Mike I didn't really look at my phone. So I was watching the replay last night in prime time, and to the announcer's credit, I thought he was right when he called the race, but have a listen.
Noah Lyles said after he was defeated yesterday in his heat, I won't be underestimating my opponents again, and I feel sorry for my competitors. There's an Olympic gold medal waiting for somebody who wants it the most. This is close. Jamaica's going to do it on debut. They're working on the photo. Noah Lyles is looking anxiously. It's Noah Lyles, and it had to go to a photo finish to decide it.
I feel like the British announcers make it more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, look,
for whatever reason.
from the naked eye, I thought the Jamaican guy had won too.
Mm-hmm.
But then, obviously, it is track and field. It's the 100, so you have to wait till they actually post it. So then the American won just by the way he stretched his head at the end.
Yeah.
And I did not realize until they broke it down, like, you don't want to lean too quickly because it takes us. I mean, like, those guys are so fast and it's so specific what they're doing. It was blowing my mind last night.
And it won by what? 5 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, he basically won by the tip of his nose.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. It's all about posture when you get to that finish line.
So you're saying I got a chance.
But you'd have to be fast, too.
Right.
Well, that goes a long way.
I can be 5 feet back and my nose will still take the tape.
It's also
Miles Montgomery has
look
won
at
the
that
100.
nose! Oh, my.
They're going so fast as well. Like, obviously they practice a lot of hours, technique.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to think if you lean a split second before that could cost you time.
Absolutely.
But he leaned right at the perfect. I don't know why I keep doing the lean, but yeah, that's what he did.
And, just based on the track and field, as far as it being a huge collegiate sport here in the United States, and it's probably, the track and field is bigger probably here than anywhere else in the world, as far as the event. So when these guys are racing for Jamaica, they're like at Oklahoma State. Like
most of those guys are trained in Florida.
They've lived.
They know each other. Because that was one thing when Usain Bolt was on top of the world, and everyone's like, I can't believe how much trash he tossed to the other competitors. I'm like, of the 8 guys racing, he trains with 6 of them, man.
Exactly.
It'd be like if we race each other.
Not only that,
right.
but like Miles is saying, like, you're in the same tournaments all the time.
Right. Who else is there?
Right, exactly. Like, again, I mentioned earlier in the show, but like the Penn Relays is probably the most famous track and field event.
Yeah.
It happens, I want to say every June. So, like, there's high school kids there, there's college kids, there's pros. But, I mean, like, basically these guys travel the world racing each other all the time. And it's not always the same guy. Like, you know what I mean? It depends race by race. There's indoor tracks. So I'm with you. And also, frankly, track dudes just talk a ton of trash.
They do talk a ton of trash. And like I said, they train
You could hear them
together.
talking crap at the end of that one.
Yeah,
I told you.
It's kind of like boxers versus MMA guys. Now, nowadays, the MMA guys talk a lot more trash.
Sure.
But really, until Chael Sonnen and McGregor got involved, it is mixed martial arts. They were always, to me, a little more respectful and this and that. Whereas, like, boxers are just like, oh, I'm going to F them up.
Because that's the same discipline.
Yeah.
Right? Just, hey, man, we're both going to do the same thing. I'm going to punch you harder.
Right. And in their defense, like, boxing is pretty cocky. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it takes a lot not to just, make an appointment to go fight somebody, stick to it, but then be good at it. Like, of course you're kind of arrogant. Like, that's a tough job to do.
You should be. I don't want a diminutive boxer.
I will say that
I'm not really sure.
George St. Pierre, GSP, he was one of my favorite fighters ever. And and people will talk about this stuff now. He was one of the first fighters I ever heard actually talk about it. He's like, oh, I kind of hate it. He's like, I am scared before I go in there. I'm scared walking into the cage. Now, he was an awesome fighter, one of the most decorated champions of all time. But I also kind of respect that he's like, no, I'm not a machine. Like, it scares me. Yeah. I'm going in a locked cage to fight a dude.
Who's good at fighting.
Yeah. Also, this is kind of funny. Mike, I forget. I want to say this woman is from the Netherlands. Ooh. So they win an event, and this is a woman talking. The best way I can describe it is when you look at her, you don't expect this voice to come out of her mouth. And it sounds like what I think is me trying to fake, like, oh, look, I'm a lady.
Okay.
You're correct. The Netherlands.
The Netherlands. This is her real voice.
When you're putting your mind to it, you know exactly what to do indoors. How was that for you?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it was such a strong race. We were all running so fast, multiple running in the 50s, so I knew I had to go out fast. I had Lieke in front of me, so I wanted to be in front, and I could hear halfway she was behind me, so I was like, okay, this is good, now we keep going, and this crowd is so amazing.
That cannot be real.
Disney France just hired her.
When you're putting your mind to it, you know exactly what to do indoors. How was that for you?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it was such a strong race. We were all running so fast, multiple running in the 50s, so I knew I had to go out fast. I had Lieke in front of me, so I wanted to be in front, and I could hear halfway she was behind me, so I was like, okay, this is good, now we keep going, and this crowd is so amazing.
I mean, it really sounds like somebody faking, like what a woman. That's what I'm saying. My buddy said to me last night, I go, that's just me faking a lady's voice.
If somebody called me and that was the voice, I'd be like, which one of my guy friends is pretending to be a woman?
Who sucked in some helium?
Right. Wow. Yeah, I did not expect that. I mean, it sounds like you doing Mickey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It sounds like Ted doing her.
Right.
It's unbelievable, right? Like, is she putting the whole world on? And it's like, I'm a chick pretending to be a chick. You know? It's like if you have to do a fake voice for a guy, like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
how's it going?
What's going on? Like, what are we
What's
doing?
up, dude?
Oh, you didn't expect that race to go that way.
It sounds like they didn't actually get the audio, so they just got some intern to
Stand
voice
in.
over it. I really ran my best out there. I gave it my all, and these competitors are fantastic.
Let's see. Men's basketball rolled over the weekend. I think South Sudan is out of the basketball contest, which is very disappointing. They had a lot going for them. The people of South Sudan are proud, beautiful people, and I'm very disappointed they're not going to be in the gold medal game.
Got a little inside there, Ted.
I know. I met some new neighbors. Jesus, the one woman was stunning. And they're South Sudan. And I was like, oh, gold medal game. We're all watching together. Then I found out this morning they're already out. I'm like, damn it.
You're going to Omaha soon enough.
Yeah, I just got to figure out something else.
Baseball, dude. Baseball.
Go next door.
World Series, right? Isn't that Omaha?
No, I know. But I got to figure out some reason to go next door and be like, oh, look
sugar. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, flour.
I won't lie to you. I was Googling South Sudanian music and food yesterday.
You can blare it in your apartment.
Yeah. What's he doing?
Setting a trap.
Miles, you did mention it. I was going to say, the golf yesterday was a pretty big deal. Scotty Scheffler, right? He ended up winning, I believe.
Yeah.
And then what was it? John Rahm
had one of the biggest collapses he's had in his career, unfortunately, because he seems like a good guy. And he was on fire in the front nine, man. He was in the gold medal lead. And just like golf, just like anybody else who plays the game, you go through ups and downs, and he just absolutely collapsed on the back nine. And as he said, look, man, it's one thing for me to collapse as an individual, and it's one thing for me not to have the best round of golf, whether it be a front nine or a back nine. But I let down the people of Spain. Like you could hear it in his voice as far as just like, look, there was more riding on this than just me.
Sure.
Than just me. And that's what I feel the worst about, and I can't shake it.
Well, Scotty Scheffler has won a lot of events.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there is a big difference when you're sitting there, they're playing the national anthem. He started tearing up. I was like, yeah, and golf already is a very individual sport. But that is completely different, I think. It's just a prouder moment. Obviously, winning majors, winning a Ryder Cup are massive, massive events in golf. But I do think there's something special about standing there, and it's like, I've won this for the country.
There's no doubt. But he did make the comment. He said, look, he goes, I'm an emotional guy in general. I take these things very personally. He goes, but when I'm doing the PGA, man, he's like, you win a tournament. He's like, you get a little longer to collect your thoughts. Right? He said, so I can go back there and I can tear up. I can take a deep breath, prepare what you're going to say, then go out in public and no one knows that, you're back there crying and that kind of thing. He goes, in the Olympics, man, we win. They point to the podium, go now. So
And then they start playing the national
anthem. And he's
anthem.
like, I didn't get a chance at nothing. He's like, I'm just trying to process what happened. Then the national anthem hits, man. He's like, it was over.
You also have to remember back to what Ted was saying about track and field. These guys typically show up on a Monday or Tuesday for practice rounds when they're playing on a Thursday. They get 2 or 3 days in the next side. I mean, they literally just leave on Sunday afternoon or Monday morning to go to their next destination. They all know each other. Tommy Fleetwood knows John Rahm as much as he knows Scotty Scheffler. They all know each other. They're all, for the most part, cordial friends. Yes, there are some people who kind of butt heads.
That's inevitable.
But these guys are all supporting each other as well. They do every day of their lives. Golf doesn't really take a break.
It does not, no.
So they're always playing together. So they all know each other. And they're all kind of rooting for each other in their own way, too.
Yeah, I mean, look, I watched an interview with Kevin Durant after the game on Saturday morning. They were saying, like, hey, you're close to being the all-time points leader for men's basketball, right? I want to say this is his third or fourth Olympics. And he was like, yeah, that's cool, but, we got to win the gold. I'll tell you what, that team is very good. I know there's a conversation going around, and I agree with some people, I'd put them up against the Dream Team. Both of them in their prime. I mean, you still have Kevin Durant.
And he's their sixth man.
You have LeBron James, who's still playing at an unreal level. Then you have, Anthony Edwards. I mean, they're just loaded.
Yes, they are.
Also, John Rahm will easily be able to have a shoulder to cry on when he goes back to the Live Tour because the guy that runs that, Greg Norman, one of the most famous choke artists in majors of all time. All right, let's see. There was a lot of stories going around. Let's just state the facts. All right, there's a guy pole vaulting for France. He's got a hog on him. All right, just a hog.
He's got a big penis. There's no doubt.
So it's him going over the pole. Now his junk does hit the pole, but his knee had already touched it.
Yeah.
So he didn't lose the competition because of his.
But the pole did hit his junk.
If you see,
it did,
and
but
the junk won.
But it was already. That pole was already going down. His legs hit it. So I mean. But it is kind of funny to just be like, look, he missed it because of his junk.
It's the pole almost stopped on the way down because of his dong, and he fell faster than the bar did.
And if you want, because they kept showing it in slow motion, so you can clearly see his knee hit it. But when he goes to the other side, his junk is bouncing up and down from the impact.
Right.
And then it's like it's waving to you from under his shorts, and I'm like, Jesus.
This is one of those sorry, not sorry moments.
Sorry.
Not sorry.
I mean, I guess I'm old school. Like, are people just not wearing jock straps anymore?
He clearly was not. There's no way that dude
I don't think
was
they make one big enough for him.
No.
Because I think a lot of football players, you'd be shocked, right?
Sure.
And I saw, what was it, Any Given Sunday or whatever?
He did not need a pole.
He did not. Harness that thing, dude.
Sure he does.
But anyhow, his leg,
his third leg.
Yeah, his leg hit the pole first. So it was not just that.
You're the reason they have cardboard beds.
I bet you he got a lot of numbers after that.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's him.
Well, Jesus Christ.
That's
I mean,
him.
you can't have a bigger advertisement for your junk.
But you know what's amazing, man? Then they had all these other highlights of people whose wangs did get in the way over the years. Because they had the side angle right up at the top where the bar is. So the cameras sometimes sit up there.
So they have an archive of junk.
Just dongs ruin it for people.
I also have seen some videos that you rarely see of pole vaulters that don't make it to the pole. And they
kind of fall back.
Yeah. I was like, all right, that has to happen.
That's bad.
That sport's insane. First of all, just sprinting with that giant pole would be weird enough.
It is.
Then you got to stick it in that little hole, bend it, and then hop over top of a pole.
And how high up was the pole?
That dude was trying to clear a 5.70 meters. He missed it all 3 times.
And you've got to commit to that thing, too. You know, back when I was a kid, I thought it would just jam the stick into the ground and kind of use it to lift yourself up. These guys, the way that it bends, and then they just completely kick their feet up.
And that's your trust moment right there.
Yes, and then you ride that thing all the way up. Like, damn, dude, I'm too big of a guy for that. I can't do this.
There's the article from the AP. When you're about to win Olympic medal, but your massive D gets in the way while the whole world watches in slow motion.
No. That's the Associated Press.
Associated Press.
News media.
TMZ offered him $250,000.
They're quoting somebody who wrote that. Yeah,
they're quoting the comments that came through on social media, but they pulled out one.
Right. Jesus Christ. He's gonna have the best life.
Oh man, he's in France, smoking cigarettes, ripping cigs, and having sex. Wait. Somebody said like more a baguette. Like there's all these.
I was just about to say, yeah,
all these comments coming through.
I wonder if he's so French. Like after sex, you're right. He lights up a cig.
I knew it was good for you. Let me tell you what I thought.
Hands went to his Johnson.
Would you like a croissant? Right? This is fluffy. You will enjoy. Snoop Dogg still over there. I don't know. That's not how French talk. Snoop Dogg's still over there. It's kind of funny watching him dress up as a equestrian. I did notice, though, he was not actually wearing boots. He was wearing those, like, straps over top his tennis shoes.
Of course.
Okay. Also, Martha Stewart for 83.
Yeah.
Yeah. She could catch it. You still have the prime time Olympic coverage on tonight. And there's a lot of, this is the second week, so you're going to have a lot of good events.
Hopefully we'll finally get to see some breakdancing. Breaking, whatever you call it. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
It's warming up, folks, and about time to turn on your AC unit and cross your fingers. Or you can give up that moment of truth and switch to an American Standard heat pump system like I did. My place is on Comfort Autopilot thanks to American Standard. Energy efficient and reliable, my heat pump keeps things cool like the Arctic in the summer. And with energy incentives, I was able to save. Ready for the future of comfort? Learn more at AmericanStandardAir.com/electrification.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You sit in traffic now, but later, there's an ice-cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. You've earned this rich golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. Because you know all your patience is paid out in gold. You remain calm through honks, bumper to bumper, and people yelling. Come on, move! You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Los Angeles robber leaves apology note for homeowners, telling them that drugs are not cheap. Meanwhile, Portland seizes dozens of vehicles that kept people up as they were trying to sleep. New Zealand woman is fined after making her dog too fat to move. At one Harry Potter-themed wedding, an owl was the one to disapprove. And a 4-H'er gives away 6,000 backpacks stuffed with needed school supplies. It's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story. We go to L.A., where they have the honest burglars. Several businesses in the area were burglarized in a string of thefts that authorities believe can all be linked to the same man. Luckily, one of the businesses that he stole from had decent surveillance footage and caught him in the act, but he also felt the need to leave a note behind. After the initial shock of finding the business broken into, they were able to find the note, which simply said, quote, "Sorry, need money for drugs. Won't be back." Despite the polite note, he left quite a bit of destruction in his wake that the businesses will have to deal with, and police are still out on the lookout for him.
Inflation, man.
That's right.
Hit everybody.
Drug money for drugs, man. At least he's forward about it.
I mean, just why even leave the note?
Right? We kind of assume that you need money because you're not exactly good with it.
And nobody cares why you broke into the place. They don't want you to break into their place.
Right. And that's kind of what they were saying, is that, oh, yeah, his polite note. Okay, there's broken glass all over my doggone store.
He cost me money.
He destroyed my cash register. Like, on top of the money that he stole, now I have to pay more money to fix the damage that he left behind.
Because you are a drug addict.
Right. Because you can't get your stuff together.
Right. Get a job.
Yeah. Right. Pay for your drugs with your money.
That's what I do.
There you go.
You know, if I have drugs, I bought them myself.
As long as you're paying for it with your money, why do we care?
Right.
In other news, sad story out of New Zealand. Authorities broke into a home to rescue the victim inside. The owner's dog.
I mean...
Yeah, no kidding. Nuggy, the dog, was rescued by authorities after his astounding obesity came to their attention. The dog had been drastically overfed to the point that his weight made him barely able to walk. Authorities say he had to stop 3 times while trekking a voyage of 10 meters.
Oh.
3 times.
It's not good for the joints. It's not good for everything.
No. The local SPCA took him in and did their best to bring him back to health, but the dog sadly passed away just 2 months later.
No.
Yep. The owner was arrested and charged, spending 2 months in jail, being issued a fine, and being banned from owning a dog for another year.
A year?
I don't think it should stop at 12 months.
It should be a lifetime ban.
Right.
Man. Come on. You see a picture of that thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You knew a while ago that your dog was too damn fat, and you kept overfeeding him. I don't know if they were feeding him people food. I don't know if they just continued to give him food in his bowl because, well, he keeps eating it. He must still be hungry. Like, I don't know what your excuse is, but I don't see how there is one, right? It's disgusting. Now, that chunky dog was kind of cute to look at. I will not condone it for a second, but doggone it. Just a big old roly-poly pup. Speaking of people losing things that they can't be responsible with, we go to Portland. Over the weekend, local authorities made several stops and seizures against drivers that either had or were suspected of street racing. Authorities caught wind of the plans on social media for a group of hundreds of racers to take over the local streets with the idea of racing and performing with their souped-up cars. Officers were able to successfully band together to break up the action, seize upwards of 10 automobiles, including the Batmobile.
Oh, no.
Batmobile. A Camaro that was altered to look like the supercar.
Okay.
I mean, it's not bad. When I had mine, yeah, it was kind of a Batmobile-like thing.
Sure. I mean, it's a cool-looking car. Just don't street race it. Or if you're going to street race it, maybe don't post it on social media that you're going to street race.
Well, and that, yeah, no kidding.
Especially when it's not easily identifiable.
Right.
Right.
You know what?
like the Hellcat.
So if you got like a great Prius.
Right.
You've
That
got a
blends in with everything.
Got a very unique looking car.
Right. That thing is loud when it drives down the road. Everybody, because you want people to look at you.
Of course.
The cops are going to look at you too. Congratulations, dummy. And just in case those stories have the bad taste in your mouth,
Thankfully, there's good news.
this time of the year, we work with our friends over at Mary's Place in a campaign that we call Kicks for Kids, which is going on right now. And we encourage everyone to head over to KISW.com and donate what they can. But our good news story today is of similar nature over in Oklahoma. An 18-year-old has just launched his 9th annual charity giveaway that he calls the Back to School Book Bag Giveaway. The 4-H student uses the fundraiser as part of his 4-H project, and this year raised enough funds to donate 33,000 backpacks and $1.3 million in school supplies. He's now being honored with the 4-H Youth in Action Award, and this is his 9th year. He's gotten up over like $3 million worth of supplies or something like that.
And you should.
Nice.
I know you don't have kids, but I read this earlier this week. They say, per student, doesn't matter the grade, on average, the back-to-school supplies that you can buy for your kid, over $500.
Just this year.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll go up next year, the whole thing.
Crap.
But they're running a racket on the scrap when they know that
right.
it's... Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, the back-to-school stuff, while you weren't exactly excited to go back to school, going out and getting a new backpack and getting new books and getting new colored pencils or whatever the hell we're all going to get, like, that was exciting. Getting new shoes, you know, that was part of the fun of going back to school. So I can understand that racks up a doggone bill.
It really does.
Nope. No good. No good. And you know what? That brings us to this. Men's Room Sports. We cannot shoot in this room. Some results from over the weekend. Your Seattle Mariners stood their ground here at home to take the series against Philadelphia 2-1. They got the day off today and will be back in action tomorrow night. I believe that puts them one game ahead, back into first place. Let's keep that streak alive, boys. Let's get her done. As far as your Seattle Seawolves rugby team, they took on the New England Free Jacks over the weekend for the Major League Rugby Championships. Unfortunately, the defending champions reigned supreme Sunday afternoon and beat the Seawolves, but a big congratulations and a major thank you for another stellar year from the rugby team. We have a great team in this city. They're multiple-time champions. They're always in the playoff talks. They're always towards the championship.
And that comeback in the Western Conference Finals was sick.
That was insane. Well done, Seawolves. Great year. As far as the Olympics, several American athletes took home the gold over the weekend. These include Noah Lyles for the men's 100 meter, Ryan Krauser for men's shot put, Valerie Ullman for women's discus, Kristen Faulkner for women's cycling, Scotty Scheffler in men's golf, Vincent Hancock in men's skeet shooting, as well as Bobby Fink and another for Katie Ledecky in swimming. The Americans have narrowed the gap between them and the People's Republic of China in the gold race down to just one, with China taking home 21 gold so far, ahead of the U.S.'s 20. Overall, the U.S. has secured 78 medals so far in the Paris Summer Olympics. Well done, competitors. You can catch more coverage tonight over on USA and NBC. You've also got Little League World Series coverage over on ESPN. As far as your weather, we've got some clouds moving in tonight that'll cool things down a little bit. Expect partly cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of about 77, which is still perfect weather to enjoy some delicious Men's Room IPA from Black Raven Brewing Company. Couple emails today. James found it at Daffodil Bowl in Puyallup. Miles, I was out of the room when you asked. That was my old hangout when I was a kid.
Oh, cool.
Friday nights, that's where we headed out, man. Great old time out there. As well as our buddy Clint found it at Last Drop Bottle Shop. And you can find a comprehensive list of locations on the Men's Room page of KISW.com. That is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time with the Daily Mix Morning Show. The best songs of the 90s coming your way as we'll sit and spin.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in. to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.